morning. We are here at the finals, and today we are looking at who's getting the Freeride World Tour ticket.
Welcome everybody to the 2026 Challenger by Orage here in Monterosa. My name is Elizabeth. I am with Will Tucker today.
It's in fact Will Smoothie Tucker. I got married last month. Sorry, I should have told the organisation that. But welcome. How are you? Thanks very much.
Absolutely. Will, I could not be more stoked to be here in Italy for the 5th stop of the Challengers. We've been receiving such a warm welcome from the locals. It's just amazing. Yeah,
I've said that to the chap I met in the cafe just now. Biggest smile I've had in years, the best coffee I've drunk in a decade, and it was only €2 anyway. If that isn't enough to bring you to Italy, then the skiing definitely should be.
Absolutely, and we've got much more to this because freeriding here on the Monterosa Freeride Paradise is just incredible. And what we're about to see is going to be something.
Yeah, my ride over here this morning, the pistes are absolutely stunningly prepared, and they're so massive and so broad. But yeah, a little bit worried about the freeze thaw crust that I was feeling on the sides of the piste, just ripping around on the snowboard. But it seems to me that the face itself, east facing, already caught a little bit of the sun, and that thaw crust has already broken through. So it seems to be in really good condition.
Check this out, Will. The views here in the Monterosa Valley are just incredible. We're at the very north of Italy, the south side of the Alps here, and it's just pure beauty. We've got glaciers all around. We've got peaks going to 5,000. We can actually link all the way to Zermatt, Cervinia. All of those mountains are connected to each other, and it's an incredible paradise for freeriding, for ski touring, and for pistes.
Yeah, I was kind of amazed by just how steep the terrain is as you mooch around the piste here. Look left and right, and there's infinite couloirs, infinite steep cliffs. And as you say, we're in the Gressenay Valley, but this particular ski resort links all over the place. The Champelhoek, and just massive area, really steep riding. Look how impressive it is. We've really got the best of the choice of face in terms of direction, in terms of timing. Yeah, we're really looking forward to what we're going to put down here for the 5th of 6 Challenger Series. Tell me about all the changes to the format this year, Elise.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it is very exciting. We do have 6 stops indeed. We started in Austria in Montafon, then came to Switzerland, all the way to Nanda, back to Austria in Kettsteinhorn and Obertauern, and here we are for the 5th stop in Monterosa Freeride Paradise. The last one will happen in 10 days in the south of France, in Les Sauces, Ubaye. And well, this is very exciting. Actually, we today are about to make really the big difference because the riders need points, and they're going to need this run to give themselves a chance to get on the Freeride World Tour next year.
That's it, and we're really coming down to the nitty-gritty of the season now. If we get this 5th competition off, which we're clearly going to in today's conditions, it will be 4 out of 5 results that count. If we get the next competition off, it will be 4 out of 6 results that count. So,
and check out the venue for today. This is the Betaforca phase. Here at the very start, this is the steepness of the venue. That's what the riders are going to come down. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I'm slightly shocked by how good the snow looked when we saw the 4 runners come down there, because it appears there's quite a lot of avalanche debris, or at least slough debris on the face, but it's softened up really nicely with the morning sun already. I suppose our problem is getting it done before that sun starts to really increase the moisture in the snow and really increase the weight of the snow. Might be better for the first 2 categories as we get out there. Really steep face, especially on the riders right, the lookers left as we look to it. There's some incredible cliffs there. I think a triple option with very much a no fall zone in between that could really stack up the points if someone can execute that one.
All right, exciting times. Well, yeah, I mean, we've got the judges getting ready. They've been studying the face as well in order to know what's going to be available, in order to know what to expect from the riders and to know what they would like to see. Let's have a look at the judging criterias.
Hi, my name is Verbier. I'm one of the Freeride World Tour judges. We score riders from 0 to 100. When the rider leaves the gate, he has a score of 50, and then the score goes up or down depending on what we see. There are 5 judging criterion. The number 1 criterion is the choice of line. We'll judge whether the line was difficult or not and whether the athlete did the best out of his line choice. Then there's air and style. How big is the jump? How many are there? Were there tricks in the air? Was the rider in control in the air? How were the landings? The landings are part of the jump. Then there's fluidity. We judges are here to decide whether the athlete was really fast or kind of slow compared to how exposed or how difficult it is to ski. Then there's control. Here we'll judge whether the rider was in control at all times. Then there's technique. For pros, we don't really judge their technique, but we might take off some points if they side slip in a place where another rider was taking turns. The score, like a temperature, will go up and down so that we have a score in our heads when the rider crosses the finish line.
And here are our judges. They're already at work at their Chevan Chalets from Austria. We've got Dodo Conrad, Ludwig Bianca and Quentin Radiguet.
Dodo, the OG judge, and Ludwig, just one of those classic snowboarders, all tattooed up, total rock star, incredible bloke. Siobhan Chalice with all the experience in the world in that judging booth now, and yeah, really confident that they're going to give us a fair and square result by the end of the day. Also, big shout out to the commissioner, Ben Carmel, for all the organisation, the incredible hard work that goes on over the summer to make this entire series go off, and of course to the local crew here in Monterosa. It's been an amazing setup so far.
Absolutely, and here we are at the very top of the Bitterfurke face. The organization and the riders are getting ready. Yeah, which, I mean, pretty looking forward. Oh, this is a traverse, and somebody's rocking down on the traverse. It looks like everybody needs to walk for quite a while to get at the top of the space.
I'm so stoked that pro snowboarders do that as well, because that's what I looked like trying to get on the chairlift, but that was fantastic. I think just trying to skateboard on his board there and going down. Talking to a few athletes this morning, seems like people have got kind of 2 lines selected, just worrying about what the snow condition is going to become by the time they drop in, and maybe planning an extra line further towards the north side of the face, maybe where it's a little bit flatter, maybe where it's easier to shut down speed. Where are we to now, Elise?
And, well, actually, I'm quite excited to see the overall ranking because everything might change today. Let's see where we're at as of now after the 4 first competitions.
And is it the case that any of the spots for the Freeride World Tour next year could be decided today? I think we've got just the most outside chances that a few people could get in. Top 2 positions at the moment. Keelan Venning from Ireland, one of the smoothest introductions to the Challenger Series we've ever seen. Timmy Schroeder been battling through it for a few years now, but at the moment booking himself a spot for the Freeride World Tour. That could all change because we got Nicholas Huber wild-carded in from the Freestyle World Cup into the Challenger Series, and he's always going to be a threat in any competition you put him in.
And that's without saying about Kia, that's right behind them. And honestly, we've seen some really, really good riding from Kia last year. He's definitely a pretendant as well. Yeah,
in the men's there, any of the top 5 could make it into the World Tour still. Tiffany Perriton looks a little bit more sure of booking a ticket as it stands at the moment, but it's still not confirmed at the moment. Selena Webber, an outside chance to get in and steal Tiffany's spot, and again, any of that top 4 could go through to the World Tour at the end of the 6th event if it does go down.
That's right, yeah. It's still very, very open, and, well, there's only one snowboard woman that is going to the Freeride World Tour next year, so everybody is battling for that exact first spot.
4 ski men going through to the World Tour. What an incredible arrival for Simon Zwischenbrugger. Just wild-carded into the Challenger Series, and he's got a hint of the Matt Sixsigs about him. Just seems to bring the attention of a room in whenever he stands in it.
Absolutely,
the
coming from Monterosa as well, from Montafon as well.
Same style. Maxime Charblot, you've seen him on the World Tour, former world champion, one of the most talented athletes ever. Got all the freestyle elements. We know he's now looking to really expand his big mountain riding and go into deep, dangerous places. Edvin Olsen on the outside looking in of the bubble at the moment, trying to take a spot from Noah Peserat or Nemo Plan. It's still all to be played for in the top 10, I think, for the men. A lot of them can make it through to that 4th place spot.
Definitely. I am, so looking forward to see all of the Free Ski Academy kids as well, because they've been proving last year that they had really, really good members to be able to send on the World Tour. And we've got, Hugo Trouba that's doing such a great job. Those kids are so well prepared.
And of course, we should mention all the riders coming back from the Freeride World Tour. Those that didn't make the cut at the official time of the season are coming back onto the Challenger Series to see if they can rebook their ticket for next year. The competition is going to be heavy here this afternoon, especially in this women's field. Ava Patola in the top spot for the moment, with Mia McNabb behind her. But anyone down to Mia Delarue can very much challenge that top 2 positions going through to the Freeride World Tour in the women's Challenger field here. So much talent down there. Even Zara Farrell down in 9th place with an outside chance of getting towards that top 2 if she can book 2 wins here. So it's all to be played for with 2 challenges left to go.
And we have Spain as well with Elizabeth Marina and Maria Castelvi-Bono. Those ladies have been shredding, and they've been proving only a couple times on the comps that they were able to make it. But if they are proving it again today and at the next comp, they could very much come back to the very top.
Yeah, something about that in the Challenger Series. I've always loved the just the position of this competition. It's not quite as tight as the Freeride World Tour. There's a looseness to it. People tend to take lines that are really, really on the limit, really push themselves, because they know with a field this deep, with just 6 competitions to prove themselves throughout the year, with 4 results taken, they've got to take some risks. We're really hoping that we get the next competition off. They can throw 2 of those crashes away and really have 4 of their best performances to book their spots towards the Freeride World Tour.
Absolutely, and it is quite strategic for the riders to have 6 stops this season, because they can really manage themselves. And it's been so interesting to witness how some riders will go and send it from the very beginning to make sure they've got the points, or some of them were very conservative and were slowly getting their confidence into the season.
It's the Alan Prost technique. If you can book 5 5th places, then maybe that's going to be better than taking too many risks, getting 1 win because you went Hail Mary on everything. But that's the joy of freeride skiing. We've got an awful lot of tactical decisions to make. Yes, to do with the face. Yes, to do with the entire season. To do with the strategy and the tactics around it. So let's try and talk our way through that as we get underway very soon with one of the most exciting competitions we could expect all season.
That's very true. And we've got the snowboard men that are about to start.
Who have we got in the snowboard men's field that's impressed me lately? Remy Benamo coming back from the Freeride World Tour with the win in Montafon just on the last one. Some of the most technical skills I could possibly imagine, mixing that straight into freestyle elements. We're going to open up, though, with Gabin Bouzin. Fantastic season so far. Maceo Perison, Marc Robert, Kea Chrétien really in the chase for that top 2 spot before we see Paul Sabido-Huve, Vaughan Hardwick all the way from Australia, Florian Handschuher, Arvid Gustafsson, Hugo Serra, absolute legend of the game, but seems to be just struggling with competition form for the brief moment. Timmy Schroeder in those top 2 spots with Keelan Venning dropping number 12. Look out for Christian Charlet. Nicholas Huber is going to be one of my top ones to watch for the day, alongside Remy Benamo and, of course, James Veach representing the UK, one of the nicest gentlemen in the field, always bringing extreme big mountain lines to it, not so much the freestyle elements, but really, really pushing. And this might be his face today. Here we go then, seconds from getting underway with Gabin.
Yes, and the first rider of the day on the Bitterbrücke face here in Monterosa Freeride Paradise. Let's go, Gabin Bouzin on course.
Just opens up with a cruisy straight air and straight away moving out to the looker's left where the features are big and it gets steeper and steeper as you drop into the face. Perhaps should have mentioned that in the pre-show, just how difficult it is to spot a line, to scope where you're going to leave one of these massive cliffs, because they just roll away And they look fairly generic on the top. All those rocks are going to look the same from Gabon's perspective right now.
Will, the snow looks really, really good.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised because there really was an aggressive freeze-thaw crust on the ski over, but just that hint of east in this northeasterly aspect means it's caught the morning sun, softened up beautifully, and it's ready for the descent. Bit of a traverse here from Gabon, working his way back towards the rider's left now. Rider's left of centre, should we say.
Exactly, and this side of the face looks so playful. There's going to be so many rocks that he's going to be able to jump
Into the backflip, and I was interested to see if that sort of slough affected snow behind the landing would be soft enough, but he finds the transition, a beautiful backflip, perfectly timed and a perfect stomp from Gabon Bouzin, and what a way to open up the day.
Whoa, this is definitely something that all of the other riders are going to get pretty excited about. And a lot of them can see the live from the top, so... All right, and a nice double at the bottom. The snow looks like it's softened a bit, but it's still giving him a good bunch of speed as he is passing the judging finish line.
What do we think in the grand scheme of this level of competition right now? Two big cliffs, one with a reasonable backflip. I think there's a little bit of traversing in the middle of the line, a little bit small on the features of the bottom relative to what I might expect to see from the absolute best in this snowboard men's field. It's going to be a great anchor score. Let's see where the judges start to scratch their heads and figure this one out. For all money, they tend to start between a 65 and 75 for a nicely landed run, don't they? Got to hedge your bets. The process is, in fact, they scale the face and kind of understand what the total number of points would be if you took the absolute hardest line and did the hardest trick you could expect for each category on each part of that hardest line. It's actually an 82, so they really think highly of Gabon Bouzin start. The big cliff at the top, the backflip into a bit of exposure lower down.
All right, the judges have really liked this. Remember that the first rider of the day and the first rider of each category really has a special role because he's setting up the tune for all of the next riders. So the judges have decided that this is where the limit was going to be and whether you can be better or worse.
Yeah, crucially, they've got plenty of points left above Gabon Bouzin to rank all the way up to 100 if they need to. But yeah, that is a pretty high starting score. Very rare to see them really step out of the 70s with the first rider of the day, so they must have thought there's something really special about it. And I have to agree with them with that first cliff was kind of monstrous. The backflip was beautiful, but typically they tend to punish that bit of traversing in the middle of the face. I suppose the fact is he didn't waste that traverse. He used it to get between one massive feature, went as quick as he could to the next massive features. Any second now, we'll be on our way back to the top and getting ready for Maceo Peresen.
All right, and Maceo is 22 years old. He is already playing with the snow up there, putting his hand in it. Yes, and having a beautiful first drop.
So Maceo, regular rider with his left foot forward. Interesting, we're now starting to see people doing switch 540s in freeride contests. Just understand how difficult it is to ride a snowboard switch in snow at all.
He's getting in such a tricky zone. There's so many rocks out there. That's not sharks, that's like a field of rocks. All right, Maceo, yes, just overtaking this bottom rock. Really nice drop out there.
Just that fantastic work with that back foot, isn't it? Keeps his shoulders really strong over the center of the board, controls his speed. But I would say the judges will start to question that he's been a little bit cautious into the top of all these cliffs so far, struggling to find the line, as I mentioned, and that hesitation.
Indeed, fluidity is definitely taking a hit.
Yeah, when I compare it to Gabon, who, whilst he had a bit of a traverse, he really flowed between every feature and didn't really pause above anything, linked the shape of every turn. This is altogether a little bit more cautious from Maceo Peresen, but now finding the double and exiting nicely, wheeling over the back of that board.
And you could tell when he started putting really good rhythm at the bottom, he's got it. Chamonix rider, yep.
He's set up fairly neutral on that snowboard. Got quite a lot of tail behind him for how well he works it.
That's right. Are you thinking this is a freestyle board?
Yeah, thinking that a little bit, and that perhaps he's expecting slightly shallower snow and doesn't really need as much float today, which does seem to be the case out on this Looker's left side of the face. Now he's boosting the manual all the way to the finish line, and interesting run all round, but I have to say just based on, as you say, the fluidity criteria. Is that as fluid as what we've just seen from Gaban Buzan? In terms of air and style, Gaban had that backflip, and in terms of line choice, I think I probably would give that to Maceo Pereson being on a steeper line all the way, but if you balance that against the air and style and the fluidity, which Gaban Buzan definitely won, perhaps for me this is sliding into second place for the moment. But I'm very happy not to be judging today. Sounds like a scary job with this much pressure at the end of the season. Changing lives with the stroke of a pencil.
Well, 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 that's a very interesting start of the competition here for this 5th Challenger, and this is 71.33 points for Maceo.
Next rider in the start gates, Marc Robert, our first Swiss athlete of the day. 36-year-old, currently sat in 6th place in the Challenger season rankings. Only the top 2 from men's snowboarding advancing on to the Freeride World Tour.
Marc Robert, he's sending a really massive big up to all of his family, his babies, and all of his close family that's taking care of them while he is playing in the snow. So yeah, that's amazing to be so well supported in order to come and and have a really nice showdown.
Beautiful opening turns, making a statement, grabbing Mute off the first little air, wasting no time. Now we'll get into a slightly flatter traverse. Is this the same line that Gaban was on? Roughly speaking, it is so far. Is he heading over to that same cliff band that we know a backflip can be landed on?
It looks like it. Marc's been competing since 2020, so this is his 6th season, and he's, just slowly been climbing from the qualifiers to the challengers.
Fantastic shots from our drone to give you an impression of just how good the snow is out there. Perhaps if there is any crust to it, then all these athletes are heavy enough to smash straight through it, but I believe it's just good, reasonably deep powder. I was expecting to at least be transformed and a bit firm on the top, but no.
Check out this double!
Doubling out, but unfortunately punching over the front foot. Looked to be in a good position as he landed. Perhaps it's a bit flat there, perhaps it's a bit heavy and chunky.
Absolutely, it looked deep as well, so yeah, unfortunately front punching.
Marc Robert carrying on then. Now Gaban Buzan did find a couple more hits in this bottom zone, and the judges will notice if Marc traverses around those and doesn't make anything out of them. Whilst they said they weren't the biggest of hits and probably not the most consequential in Gaban's run in terms of stacking it up, but if you're going to completely skip them, then that really makes a statement to the judges and perhaps makes an easier decision there with the crash as well.
That's true, and it could be, like maybe if Marc thought this was job done, then he's just decided to...
He's cruising home, isn't he?
Exactly.
No such thing as a no score in snowboarding because you don't lose your kit in the same way that the skiers do. But that will
or
obviously...
if you do, you need to change your biting sponsors.
Yeah, true enough, yeah, indeed, but this will get a bit of a crash score, and obviously I think ranking in where are we? 3rd place for the moment.
That was so stylish. All right, and well, Marc had been doing such a great job with a couple podiums recently, so he's going to be disappointed for sure.
And just interesting to see as he landed, that one was a touch flat, but more the condition of the snow, perhaps where it was flatter, where it's been catching more of the sun, where it's closer to the rock and absorbing more heat, was altogether more chunky. So maybe that's some feedback that coaches are going to be radioing up to athletes at the top. Just beware on any of those flatter cliffs that there might be worse conditions below them. It might be better to go longer, try and get beyond that first transition and find some deeper, softer snow away from the rocks.
Absolutely. Do you think that if Marc had been going a bit faster and further, maybe the landing could have been better?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. Perhaps he was a little bit taking off on his toe edge and traversing across the mountain just a touch as well. Going bigger on that line doesn't necessarily find you a steeper transition anyway. Difficult cliff to get right, I think, in the end. Taking a risk that didn't pay off, and that's the game.
That's true. But, man, that was good looking.
Yeah, otherwise you can see the quality in his riding and why he has been on podiums previously this season.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm so looking forward to see what Kia has in store for us today. He's only 19. He's been competing on the Challengers last year already and really learning, every day, and he's riding, he's keeping evolving. He's got incredible talent. He's surfing all of the rest of the year, and you can tell.
And he's one of those guys chasing Timmy Schroeder in second place at the moment for that spot on the Freeride World Tour. Anyone in that top 5 of the men's can challenge for the moment. And Kia Chrétien, definitely one of my top picks for the day.
All right, Kia's training in Courchevel with Coach Joris, entre autres. And he loves flying. Actually, he loves flying so much in the air that he flies small planes, and he would love to be a pilot in the future.
Does he really? Good on him.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about the aviation and the wind right now, because we are going to have some athletes taking big air time, and it does seem that the wind speed is increasing as forecast for the day. And Kia Chrétien getting a broto into the face
Let's go.
to find a cliff that hasn't been, it was used by one of the forerunners, I think. He goes massive, but already front punches. You could see him fighting that forever. I think the snow heavier than he'd kind of calculated for on the takeoff.
That's right. And he looked like he was really going to make it, but unfortunately couldn't. Check out this jump turn.
Using all the muscles in his core to get over his back foot, but unable to hold onto it. Beautiful jump turn to set up here on the cross-court air, and finds a transition again, this time punching over the heels, overcompensating in the other direction.
All right, that was a massive hit. He definitely took it real big and had zero hesitation.
And straight away, I feel it's a real shame, that front punch at the top, because this line clearly could rank towards the top of it. 3 massive airs so far, and lots of technicality getting between them. Poor shape in the air there. You saw him just hook up a toe edge as he left the cliff, and he's winding the windows down to control it, and the judges are obviously going to note that in the air and style category.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is the fastest snowboarder that we've seen today, I reckon.
Yeah, and he's definitely on the foreline of the face, isn't he? He's wasted no time traversing anywhere. Every cliff he's aiming for is straight below the start gate. Only the control criteria has let him down here, because I think the line criteria would have been right up there.
100%.
The concept of the airs he was
And
using could have scored
not
high in the air and
done.
style.
Check this out. Kia Chrétien for the
Yes.
last cliff of the day. Beautiful.
Grabs and tweaks a bit of an indie, slight nose bone as we call it, just tweaking that front foot towards the finish line as he jumps off that final cliff, and a real nice style from Kia Chrétien. Such a shame for the front punch at the top. I'm going to say it again. I think if that could tick the control criteria, then it ticked the other 4 so solidly that it would be in a comfortable first place now. But Gabin Bouzan must be feeling comfortable, giving his buddy a big hug and some consolidation for the crash at the top. Look how long he holds on to it for again. He's struggling, trying to squeeze the core, get the weight over that right foot behind him, and he can't do it. Then the Sam Smoothie line, as we call it, finding the billy goat in between the cliffs.
All right, what is it going to take for Kia? We're still, it's very interesting. So every time the judges see something good, they will add up points to the 50 original points that the riders have, and every time they'll make a mistake, then they will be coming down with points, so below 50. So it's a really good question whether Kia is going to be able to stay above or not. Well, 68 points actually.
Right, so not punishing that front flip anywhere near as hard as I thought they might. It did sort of need to go above Marc Robert, did it, for the worst crash in lesser place. But
I mean, all of the rest of the riding was so
that's it. The
hard.
the line score has to be at the top.
Exactly.
Doesn't it? He's down the 4 line. It would be extremely fluid if not for that one loss of control, really. And yeah, I can see where they're coming from with it. But I think traditionally they have punished those front punches a little bit more, especially in this men's field. But we'll see how it comes out by the end of the day. Kia Chrétien in 3rd place for the time being.
All right, and we've got Spain, actually Catalan, coming up with Paul Sabido-Rouvet. He's been training with Hugo Serra in Verbier all season. He's getting really after it, and he is really looking forward to get at the top of the ranking today.
On course then, and underway with Paul Sabido-Rouvet. Straight to it, same cliff as we've seen a couple of riders use just to open up the face, give themselves a a bit of a settler, if you like. And then a massive one. So we saw Gaban Bouzan on that same line. The man sat in first place at the moment used those two cliffs. Pol keeping it playful in the middle, so he's not riding past anything, making use of every little knoll to get some airtime, get some fun out of it.
All right, and he's choosing to go all the way riders left as well to come and play with all of the bottom rocks out there. He's actually even playing on the traverse. That's nice to see.
Yeah, just pumping on that toe edge to try and keep the speed going. Riding the bottom line of it there. He does look to be aiming for that same line as Gaban Bouzan, who did have the backflip on the cliff just below Pol's line now. Will he turn into this one, or will he carry on out towards the Lookers right? Does seem to have less and less in terms of large features on it, but Pol has found one, and he's going to go front side 360 and stomp really beautifully. Perhaps harder to do than that backflip that Gaban Bouzan did on a similar size of feature. Now it's going to come down to the fluidity for the rest of the line. We mentioned Gaban found a couple more features to finish off, and it looks like Pol has found an even bigger one.
Absolutely, it was such a nice way to open that new feature on the very left rider of this face.
Did hear from Judge Dodo that perhaps a little bit flat behind those cliffs at the moment. He was expecting those to turn into heartbreak hotels, but Paul Sabido-Uve finding the transition and showing them that with the level of quadriceps that this young man has got, it's no problem down there.
Absolutely. Well, it could be a line of the judging criteria, level of quadriceps. Well, I like it. This is a good way to find out about the skills and the ability of a rider.
In terms of our top place standing at the moment, Gaban Bouzan, I think this line, it's at least competitive with it. It doesn't have a double at the bottom, but it does seem to have a bigger cliff. Perhaps it's a touch more traversing out towards that rider's left at the bottom. But it's definitely got, within that line choice, as much fluidity as you could create. Perfect control, plenty of air and style with that clean front side 3. So it's down to the judges. Gaban Bouzan, or will it be Pol Sabido-Uve for the first place at the moment? Great execution in the end on the front side 3. A little bit behind it, didn't see the landing coming, but stood it up beautifully. Does go into first place for 86 at the moment, ahead of Gaban Bouzan. So linking up larger cliffs at the bottom rather than a smaller double. Pretty inconsequential exit line for Gaban Bouzan, and a more difficult exit for Pol Sabido-Uve off the face, and he goes into first place for now. Takes the Orage.
Amazing. New line, new trick. I mean, that's probably everything that the judges wanted.
Yeah, and I think the judges also appreciate maybe in Freeride contests that front side 360 was more difficult to do than the backflip anyway.
Absolutely. And we had not seen any yet. Von Hardwick, let's go. Von's so full of energy this season, it's incredible, and he is, proving it.
Same line as the last, the guys in first and second place at the moment, but grabbing Mute on that top cliff just to add a bit of flavour, and a lovely tail slash across the knoll that Pol just popped a lolly off. So more fun, more playful to watch, just as aggressive, but now changing line.
Exactly. Well, following Von all around the resort is just the most fun things he can do. He's playing with absolutely every feature on his way, and that's what he's doing today. Yes, with a beautiful indie grab.
Lovely tweak on the indie grab, and loads of speed and fluidity through this section of the face. One of the most fun lines so far. Will the judges see that as a bit of a skip? Generally, I just want to comment again, how hard is it to find where, off this massive band of rock below Vaughan now, where does he choose to take off, and how has he planned that?
Let's go, 1 and 2. Vaughan's going for the double, managing his speed in the middle, unfortunately getting caught a little bit at the blending of the second one, but man, he was going for it.
That's a tiny butt check, but it's a lot smaller error than the man in fourth place at the moment, Keir Chrétien, so still can be a competitive score here. Really aggressive line, straight down that 4 line. Really fun way to approach the top of the face, and then got into the nitty-gritty, how to really choose technical takeoff spots and be just in the right place at the right time. Just the one bum check from Vaughan Hardwick from Australia.
Man, hardcore snowboarding. I love this.
Yeah, this face is delivering, isn't it? I was wondering whether it would be a struggle with the snow for people to add any freestyle elements to this, but we're seeing that. We're seeing people stepping to the really steep exposed lines. A few people going to those no-fall zones.
Check this out! He was in the
fun.
barrel, just surfing like he was in Australia.
Knows what he's doing. And yeah, the quality on the indie grab, tweak on it, showing the judges that he's in perfect control as he adds up the air and style points.
Oh yeah. Very, very cool. Big up to Pro Surfer Mom and yeah, an incredible coach Neil Hardwick to be helping him out for the season. 79 points, putting Vaughn on the 3rd place. Man, this little very, very tiny mistake has taken him down. Let's see if he manages to stay on the podium for today.
Stoked to see that pure Bell Hardwick, the genetic style of a surfer, written into Vaughn Hardwick there, slashing the top of that knoll and making it fun. We're back to the top and we're getting ready for
very,
Arvid.
very cool. Man, I can't believe, like, I mean, Mount Perisher is not really what the Beta Fruga is. And for this kid to be adapting so well, to be, yeah, just diving into a new terrain, diving into the steepness and making the most of all of the features that he can find here, that's quite incredible. I've
always said that the Anzacs are heavily overrepresented by what facility and what size of population they have with access to snow sports. They are massively overrepresented in the top echelons of the sport worldwide. Absolutely fantastic riders coming out of a place where you just wouldn't expect it to happen. So
that's right. Well, Florian Henschuk is coming not from that far, but from quite far, the other side of the Alps, and heading out for the first drops.
And similar line again to those top 3 at the moment, grabbing Indy, but perhaps not travelling quite as far as Gabin Bouzan and Paul Sabida-Houvet off that first cliff. Starting to see enough of those landings now. You can kind of read who's really taking more speed off the top of it and having more confidence with it. And indeed, Paul was altogether more playful across the traverse, but
Florian choosing the traverse.
It makes the point that traverse is going to be a little bit more difficult to keep your speed for the regular rider. When your left foot is forward, you're on the heel edge travelling that way across the mountain. Bit of a disadvantage to the toe edge rider who can hold their speed a bit better across that traverse there.
Oh, there's some really nice turns out there. It really makes you want to go snowboarding. Indy grab.
A little bit loose though, so you had to let go of the Indy grab early, and it kind of slightly makes the point to the judges compared with Paul Sabida-Houvet's frontside 360 or the backflip from Gabin Bouzan. That Indy grab perhaps not going to cut the mustard with the top 2 as it goes for the moment.
Cutting the mustard?
You not heard that phrase?
Couper la moutarde? No, I had never heard this before.
They always sound sillier when you put them in French, don't they? There we go.
That's amazing. All right, Florian is riding usually in Fieberbrunn, and he just loves it out there. I'm sure he's really stoked to be coming on this side of the Alps where the snow has been falling.
Nothing
recently.
To be critical of in Florian's run, particularly. Great line choice, and a line choice that we've seen go towards the top of the podium. But if we compare it directly in terms of air and style, in terms of fluidity and control, I just feel like those top 2, as we stand at the moment, Gabin and Paul, seem to have to just have a little edge on Florian Hanschauer there. Expecting that somewhere in the top 5, but nice to get some close-up replays there. Able to kind of punch a bit of a backside shifty on that, but yeah, again, that Indy grab compares in the roughly the same point of the face against that frontside 360 and backflip, and it's going to put him into 6th place at the moment with 64. Scores coming out. We've got a lot of scores above 65 into the 80s today.
All right, Florian staying pretty consistent. It says 4th year out here on the Challenger, and we've got Arvid Gustafsson getting ready up there. Arvid is coming from Sweden, 24 years old. He's also quite an aggressive rider. Check this out.
Yeah, loads of speed into the first options. And going as big and on the same line there, so you can start to see those bomb holes and the people taking it more four-line, therefore landing more on the looker's right and further down the hill. They're going to rack up more points on that than what we've just seen from Florian Hanschauer. So a nice start from Arvid Gustafsson. It's on the same line as the people in the top 3. And he's riding it just as aggressively for the time being. Same comment though, it's a little bit harder to carry the speed on the traverse on this heel edge, and little things like that can happen to you. Just get sharked out and it wobbles down the mountain, and the judges might be really harsh to that bum check, because if you compared that against, was it Vaughn Hardwick just had the small butt check, but he was in exposure and doing something difficult. That's happened on a traverse track.
But anyway, Arvid getting back onto his type of riding Yes, with a beautiful Becky. All right, and this is proper landed.
And he goes bigger than Gaban Buzan as well. You can see the bomb hole disappear behind him as he lays the backflip out, straightens the spine, looks for the landing, points the snowboard at it. And this is the line that Paul Sabido-Houvet used now. A little bit more mellow through the bottom then than Paul and Gaban Buzan. So whilst he has gone bigger on the backflip, he does have the bum check at the bottom and a little bit less, because I believe Gaban doubled through that section. Whilst he does find a pretty good air and grab Indy and then rip to the finish line, I think Arvid Gustafsson somewhere close to those two, but I maybe just have him. I can't say no. I can't say which way I think it's round because I don't have my pencil out. I'm not judging officially. We're going to leave it to the people in the tent over there to decide whether Gaban Buzan is going to remain ahead of Arvid Gustafsson.
Yeah. All right. Well, Arvid, it's so interesting because Arvid's only did his first season coming down from Sweden to Saint Anton after high school. So he really started free riding, like proper snowboarding, really late, even though he was in love with it since he was 12 years old. And it's so nice to see that when you've decided and when you're so passionate, you can really, go up, and there he is now, like trying to become some of the world pro elite of snowboarding. Check out this backflip.
Wow, I mean the amplitude's more impressive than Gaban Buzan. Perhaps he actually laid it out a little bit more and just looked more relaxed in the air as well. It's just that bum check at the top that surely has to be counted in, just cruising across the traverse track. Such a shame when that happens. A little snow stake just wipes out your front foot and you feel like it's okay when you do it in a risky zone and the mistake happens somewhere consequential because you're pushing the limits, but when it happens when you're cruising the traverse track, it's probably because your mind was focused on the cliff in front of you and you're just not paying
big
attention.
time. He was already flying head down in his head, I'm sure.
That backflip had to be getting the heart rate going. He was thinking about doing it and then he just doesn't look at the change in the snow in front of him and down he goes. So.
Bear in mind, like, we wake up thinking of the amazing fondue we're going to have for dinner with friends. Those guys wake up thinking of how many times you're going to be able to put your head down and how many somersaults you're going to be able to be doing during that day.
Yeah, and you're just trying to look back to the judges were not so aggressive on Keir Chrétien's front punch, and they really are having a long think about how much to take off here for Arvid Gustafsson. He is going to go into second with 83 points. So just deciding that they're not going to punish the bum check on the traverse track there. Little loss of control, not somewhere where it mattered altogether, and in some ways I want to support that. I think the criteria allows the space for that. So
that was out of the riding, like traversing is kind of, sometimes you need to adapt to the face.
I'm afraid I missed the actual rider's briefing. Perhaps it was even said on that traverse in these conditions was going to get a little choppier and you won't be judged so harshly for that. But there we go. Into second place goes our man Arvid Gustafsson, and we're getting ready for Hugo Serra at the top.
Big boy! All right, Hugo's been out here for 10 years. We've been competing so long together. It's so much fun to be on races with Hugo, and let's go, because what we want to see today is real Hugo. And
hard to state how much of a legend this guy is in the Verbier region. Everybody in the resort knows him. He's just been on the scene for so long, ridden so well for so many years, and he gives so much back to the community. He's teaching for ESS there, running the Freeride club. Exactly, such a great coach. All of the kids loving him. Nice, Hugo pointing out between the rocks out there. He's the first one to be coming in that direction. And the quality of athleticism. The board tried to shoot out from underneath him. He just gets the pressure on the heel edge and drives his way onto the traverse track now. And just that little knoll there, people struggling to pump over it. But Hugo, in fact, now taking a different line. Cross-court, grabbing method. We love to see it. That melon grab, tweaked all the way to the front side, pointing the base of the board at the judges. A little bit of a loss of control on the heel edge. I wonder if the snow through that section just looks a touch heavier. Hard to see with the snowboarders, they float so well anyway. It might do. He's uncovering some rocks as well, so it's not that deep. Nice! Backside beautiful. 3. First one of the day we've seen ripping backside 360, and it could not have been done any better. How stylish. This is Hugo's signature. I love to see him do this. Kind of hand dragging off the lip of it as well, Elise. So clean with the style. And then another Indy nose bone, but he will just shoot over the back foot. Have to pop to switch. That was very well recovered. Incredibly well recovered, but again, just kind of takes that the sauce out of the run a little bit, doesn't it? You kind of, the whole thing had an energy. It was flowing so well, and that emotion you've just felt, the judges are going to feel it as well. That's true. I wonder if he could have, like, maybe kept going
straight. Although he's got a nice little last drop, and that may be enough to counterbalance for this very slight. I mean, and when you show that you can recover, the judges also will...
It's definitely a skill in itself, isn't
Exactly.
it? Yeah. I mean, I wonder if there's the opposite of Arvid there. He was looking back up the hill going like, man, that backside 3 was sick. Just takes his mind off it. Way easier cliff in front of him. Didn't think that was going to be the one that by him. I think maybe the snow conditions does start to change at the bottom of the face, though. That lower altitude, the temperature's going to be a degree or so warmer.
That's true, that the snow does look heavy. Check out this beautiful cliff. That was cool.
That's that recovery on the heel edge, though. The quality of athleticism, the experience. Small cliff, but the tweak on the method was absolutely beautiful from Hugo Serra. Here's the backside 360, hand dragging into it. How
Totally
clean
hand
do you
drag.
want it? Oh,
Oh yeah. All right.
73.33. So altogether getting punished more, I think, today for making a mistake in a place of consequence than just ripping out on the traverse track, and that's maybe something the judges could communicate ahead of time.
That's right. Well, this is very disappointing.
I tell you what, though, let's get ourselves excited, because the next man is looking to book himself a ticket to the Freeride World Tour. He's on the bubble inside at the moment, in second place, Timmy Schroeder.
Absolutely. This is his second year actually on the World Tour, and he really wants to get back on it.
He's just one of the nicest guys in the game. I mean, a bad influence on me in the best possible way, because I'm so inspired by his snowboarding. I keep trying to do things I can't actually do, just trying to copy Timmy. Another one of those guys that gives back to the community. He's a coach, he's a beautiful human being, and one of the hardest working dudes out there. No, he's been working on a cab underflip 540, but that is just going to be the back flip. But same thing has happened to Keir Chrétien, just front punching. It looks kind of deeper, and there's something chunky underneath that cliff there for sure.
Very much. Although, oh yeah, what a shame. It did look like a big cloud of snow was coming out. But
Yeah.
maybe it was not as good. All right.
Oh, did not think he could clear all of that with that speed. Kind of dropping very late. Huge pop, grabbing Indy, and then wiping out on the heel edge a little bit in the landing. But beautiful option of a line from Timmy Schroeder, but so far not executing the way he'd like it to. And now he's going to owe me a beer for falling over whilst I'm
Yeah, Timmy, you might need a lawyer for that case. That's no, that's not what we're used to.
Yeah, and I mean,
Wrong breakfast.
there's definitely, after 2 small errors on the face, just becomes more dangerous because it's so hard to keep your head in the game, stay in the zone. There's definitely sort of a point that you want your emotions to be sitting at, a level you need to be floating at. And once you've had 2 errors like that, yeah, it's really hard not to be looking up the hill and swearing and thinking negatively. And therefore, Timmy just going down in the flats where we 100% can promise you he normally has the skill to cruise across little flat areas like this.
Absolutely. No, incredible abilities. All right, back into confidence, hopefully, for Timmy Schroeder, because there is quite a nice piece of cake that remains on this face.
Goes, I think that's switched front side 540,
Boom.
is it? No, it's front side 540 to then try and land switch and reverted it straight away because he just slightly under rotated. But what an ambitious concept of a line. Would have been a winning line, I think, if Timmy could have stomped the backflip up top. With a 540, we're just starting to see that creep into World Tour snowboarding as well, with Victor Delarue doing a cab 540 in Alaska the other day, but that is really, really at the top of the game right now. Not so many people able to do a 540. Easier to do a 720, where you, of course, go from your regular foot to your regular foot if you want to either take off or land switch on a snowboard in a free ride contest. Your board's going to be mounted unfavorably for that concept anyway, so riding switch in this terrain is just... yeah, crazy idea from Timmy Schroeder. Stoked he went for it. Always puts on a show. Will still be a great time to be around him in the bar tonight, I promise you. Never one to kind of wear the negativity too long. He will be upset for the moment, but we know we'll see more of Timmy Schroeder in the future. He keeps coming back for it. Here's the first backflip. Oh. And he's a perfect 4-point position. The snow's just way deeper there. I think there's a bit of a transition below the rocks. It's steeper below the rocks. And then that corner where it starts to flatten out to the mountain, there's much deeper snow. And that's where Timmy has caught the front of his snowboard. There's the front 5. Indy, is it?
Yeah, the grab was so solid. 62 points for Team Schroeder.
So still getting
Well,
above a
that's-
50 with 3 crashes and one of them in the flat. Had to be one of the most killer runs of the day. That was in the 90s if he put it down. Sorry to see it, Timmy. It's the way it goes.
Big time. All right, well, we can't wait to see him at the next comp already. And we've got Chamonix coming into the gate with Christophe Charlet. Right now, Chris has been around for a while. I think, yeah, probably the most time, because since 2013, when he was on the Pro Tour, then on the Challengers for a really long time, and on the qualifiers, sorry, and on the Challengers for the 4th year. Christophe loves Monterosa. It's not that far from home, but sometimes just the storms put so much snow here on this side, on the south face of the Alps, which is different from Chamonix. So
And
he
he's
likes to come out here.
underway then. So Goofy Rider the other way round to Tim. He's got his right foot forward. And he's going to grab Mellon off that first cliff. So that front hand coming behind the front foot and grabbing behind between the bindings. Very important to the judges that it's between the bindings.
They would not like it otherwise.
No one loves that Nellon. That not a melon by grabbing in on the nose of the board.
All right, that looks quite a creative line from Christophe. Beautiful.
Grabbing Mellon again, this is definitely up there in terms of line. I wonder in terms of technique and fluidity, I feel like he's just below. Who else did we see use this line? Was Chiacretti on something similar? Yes, he had a control issue, but he was altogether more aggressive, perhaps taking bigger exits off this bottom band, and now comes the control issue as well from Christophe Charlet. Grand effort. Just looks a little squat over that rear foot, doesn't he? Not letting the board flow as much.
Maybe the snow is a tiny bit different on this aspect.
Yeah, really different. The further over
really
to
hard.
that rider's right, it's crunchy as anything, and
Wow.
perhaps sloughed out in there altogether, and you're just down to that base underneath, which is pretty crunchy. Christophe Charlet there, now ripping towards the finish line. I think could have been one of the most competitive lines, but just when we've seen that same line with lots of air and style on it, when we've seen it with a bit more fluidity and without a control issue, Christophe Charlet maybe in the top 10 for now, but I don't think going to be challenging the top 3 with that one.
Yeah, fair enough. He's definitely loving his big mountain lines, and I'm sure that's why he wanted to come on that rider's right side, because it's a bit more steep.
Yeah, beautiful melon grab on that first cliff, to be fair. Locked that one right in. And there isn't actually
Second one too.
I was going to bring this up at the show at some point. There's no criteria for variety in Freeride. So grabbing melon twice is just as many points as grabbing melon and then grabbing Indy if it's a similar difficulty of grab anyway.
Absolutely. Although the overall impression, usually the judges are quite amazed if you can do so many different things. And it's 69 points for Christophe Charlet. Old school.
Excited for this next rider then. One of very few to have represented Ireland at the top of the world snow sport standings. Keelan Venning. And on a tear at the moment. At the very top of the standings.
Absolutely. Number 1. Keelan Venning, based in Chamonix, but from Ireland.
And talking to the judges last night, they were really impressed. It's just a full bag that this guy brings to the game. I'm not sure where he's managed to learn it, because Ireland not famous for having big snowy mountains. So to have solid freestyle elements, to have had the time to learn to apply that in technical big mountain terrain, to understand how to read a line, super impressive that Keelan Venning is able to open up. Was that switch?
360.
Was it 360s? Nice. And then the biggest method grab of the day then.
Absolutely. It's so nice to really see the bottom of the board horizontal, perpendicular to the ground.
And mentioned a very freestyle setup on one rider's snowboard. The far opposite seems to be true for Keelan, isn't he? He's pretty heavily mounted over the rear of that snowboard, very short tail behind him that's very rocket anyway, so it looks really easy for him to keep the nose of that nose of the board out of the snow, which we've seen a few people front punching in heavier bits of landing terrain so far. So maybe that's to Keelan's benefit.
Well, he's got a 360 already in, and I wonder if he's got something more for us at the bottom, because that would make a big difference to have 2 big tricks.
Just uncovering a couple of rocks in the open field there, lining up onto the bigger band where Gaban Buzan also did the backflip. Not quite as big as we saw from Arvid Gustafsson on the same cliff.
I mean, still sending it.
Still beautiful,
and
yeah.
he doesn't need any more than this, because he knows that he's got it at the very top, and he is already making the difference. Keelan playing it so strategically and so beautifully.
Yeah, and now finishing with the same 2 cliffs as Gaban Buzan. It's the same run plus that frontside 360 at the top. Maybe it's a touch more fluid, so he's still he's in the question around the top 4 anyway, isn't
100%.
he? And that, as you said, might well have been him just winding the difficulty back a little bit, taking an easy one, because he knows he just needs sort of one more top 5 finish, and he might well be booking his place to the tour anyway.
Very, very true, because, well, bear in mind, if Keelan is first, he's definitely getting closer to have Freeride World Tour 2027 chances.
There's that frontside 3 at the top. Yeah, really, really nice. The method was perfect. So tweaked, so big on that, and I love the style in the landing. Yeah, altogether,
solid.
I think this has to be above Gaban Buzan, doesn't it? Maybe it's just like half an inch smaller on that bottom cliff, but it really isn't significant, and the rest of the run is the same, plus that 360, plus a hint of fluidity. He's going into first place, 88.33, and our current leader extends his lead at the top of the standings.
Woo! Keelan Venning proving that he could be the man of the season on those 2026 challengers by Orage, and by putting himself into the first place as of now. And well, we don't have that many more riders. There's only 3 more competitors that could take him down the podium, with Nicolas Huber, Remy Bedamo, and James Veit. I mean, those are pretty good tracks.
It's 3 really big names for Keelan Venning to be really nervous while sat in that Orage hot seat for the moment, because Nicolas Huber, one of the biggest legends in Swiss snowboarding history, one of the most fun guys to follow on Instagram, one of my favourites is the simplest thing there. And he is going to open up, I think that's half cab. He's gone switch, frontside 180.
100%.
Regular rider starting off with his left foot forward.
Wow, making his way. This place is becoming a field.
Sorry, I should say goofy rider. Started left foot forward, went frontside 1, and then takes the big cliff on in his normal goofy stance. Just a hint of a butt check, but one of the most ambitious cliff lines so far from Nicolas Huber. And again, you might expect that his speciality is doing triple 1440s, but he is just no slouch in any version of snowboarding, be it the street, the big mountain. Hugely talented athlete.
Ooh, you could tell where he had this little slip down, that the snow was very different, and that's where we've seen mistakes before.
Oh, and they're going, I think, frontside 3, a funny camera angle there for a moment, and then into a switch,
Back
frontside
switch.
1 again. And then frontside 1. He's going to try and do a switch frontside cork 5. The most freestyle run in Snowboard Challenger history just occurred. It's a shame it's not really controlled. Execution lacking a little bit from Nicolas Huber, but ambition in droves.
Absolutely. It's so nice to see such a stoked rider. Unfortunately, I feel like he's popped it a little bit too early, sending him head first onto the landing.
This will come together for Nick at some point if he takes another season on the Challenger Tour. Consistency isn't necessarily his #1 thing, because he goes hell for leather every single time, but he's pretty new to this environment, and once he starts to lock it in, then when he goes hell for leather, if 4 out of 5 of those go down in the season, he's going to be a very, very difficult man to beat. Crazy, crazy concept of a line from Nicolas Huber, and looking forward to the replays here so I can truly figure out which way round his stance is supposed to be. And
That's so good.
So he's definitely a goofy rider who opens up with a switch frontside 180, so from his left foot rotating around to his right, and then he's in his natural stance to go absolutely massive on this cliff. Just goes a touch short on it, and as you say, the snow condition there where it's sloughed out behind the cliff, not as good. And then sort of a late set on a 360, frontside 360 on a very small cliff that wiped him out, and they didn't show the switch front cork 540, which would have been the key highlight. But into 13th place goes
see that
Nico.
later. Absolutely. It's so nice to have a freestyler on the Challengers because this is really moving things around and inspiring all of the other riders. Remy Benamo, Freeride World Tour rider, trying to come here for redemption on course.
One half of the Challenger Series' newest romantic power team. Stand by to the end of the women's snowboarding contest to find out who the other half is. Remy Benamo setting up to go massive on the first cliff and proving that he's got no slouch in the massive big mountain options. I was kind of thinking of him as a freestyle rider as well. He's got everything in his bag, but he loves to find a really steep line. Where are you going here?
Big mountain, Swiss goat. That more goat than big mountain right now.
Yeah. Just repeating again, just so hard to find. Where are you going to take off this cliff? It must look completely the same at the top there, and he goes backside 3, but without enough speed, ends up on the, I hope, grassy knoll below, but might well have been rocks. We don't get the audio from that one. Does well to control it.
That's right. Riding in Zinal in Switzerland, usually he knows all of the secret spots out there. It's really nice to have him in Monterosa. All right, doubling it over the grass and rocks.
And one more massive cliff below Remy Benamo now. Does this work? He's going to find a little shoot through to take it as a double as he. Lovely setup and great straight line out of the bottom of the face from Remy Benamo.
Wow.
Yeah,
really strong riding. It's so nice to see how he's been able to learn and really plan his run through the space, because he's been, without any hesitation, in the middle of some real sharky places. He needed to know where he was in order to not put himself in danger, and the judges can feel this.
Yeah, and I think just watching the theme of the judging so far today, yeah, beautiful drop off the first one, but the judges have been punishing those errors in more consequential places more than they have been on the traverse track, for instance. Remy, this particular back 3 kind of into the rocks itself. Yeah, I think that one's probably going to get punished more harshly, and again, perhaps not landing in the right spot there, missing the transition and landing on grass or rocks. Interesting concept of a line, but perhaps just didn't find the takeoffs in exactly the right place where he needed them.
What do you reckon, Will? Podium? No podium?
For Remy, can't put that on the podium for my own thoughts of the judging today with that particular 360 landing on the grass, on your bum.
Just because even though he did not fall properly, but the fact that he's put himself in like a little bit of danger, the judges never like to see this, so they would much rather have riders that know exactly where they're going to fall and not put their feet on rocks.
I mean, in terms of the podium for the moment, those top 3, none of them have got any errors. Keelan's completely clean, completely flawless. Perhaps Gavin wobbles an arm once on the on an air, but nothing touches the snow. So if I compare that with the control issue of Remy Benamo, and that's the job of the judges. It's nice to be nice, but equally this is a competition and we have to write down some scores and say someone's better than someone else to come up with a result. And I don't think Remy's going to challenge the podium today.
We'll see. It's so nice though to see like so much experience into riders. Starting from the juniors definitely is a plus, and then experience on the Pro Tour, hanging out with all of the big pros and getting inspired by how they see the mountains, especially hanging out with the North Americans. All right, 68 points, putting Remy in 9th place.
So yeah, plenty to stack the score up in the other direction in Remy, but certainly being punished for the back 3 into exposure and onto the rocks. One rider left to go in the men's field, and it's all open. There's some high scores at the top, but I don't think Keelan Venning's untouchable for James Veach. Does love a big mountain line, perhaps not as proficient in those freestyle elements as Keelan Venning is. But a lovely stomp, and lots of people really struggle with that cliff. In fact, James managed to take it a little shorter, find a steeper transition up close to the rocks there.
All right, he's coming in, quite fast on this first thing. Let's see if he can find his takeoff. Yes, beautiful. Unfortunately, getting caught into the bum hole at the landing.
I think this is pretty consequential. If James Veach can't win this, I'm not sure, but I think Keelan Venning, at least he's very, very close to booking his ticket to the Freeride World Tour. James Veach needing to win to upset that altogether. But then with the bum check and the hesitation here in really tricky spot to run a snowboard through to set up for the cliff. Wow, did well in the end.
Very nice indeed, and coming out with some serious speed. Well, apparently James might not be done.
Does he look lost for the moment? Now traversing switch, trying to find his way off this particularly scary entry. Yeah, I didn't think there was anything possible there.
Easily, I mean, that was pretty massive and onto flat. All right, and doubling it. Ooh, Ugo Serra style and switch.
But yeah, I think therefore we now know James Veach isn't going to challenge the top of the podium at the very least. And with a little bit of a lack of fluidity, I think the judges are going to think he got lost above that main cliff. And then the big control issue at the bottom as well. James Veach giving it his all, taking some risks out there, but not coming up trumps on this one.
All right. Well, it's so nice to see, James on big days, and all he's got to do is to work on his consistency, because we all know that he's capable of real big stuff, and we just want to see it all the time.
Yeah, and I think the key thing is James seems like he's going to have the longevity just through his character. Really strong head, hugely nice bloke, very focused, always humble, and always taking on that feedback. So, and always he's young as well. We've got a great future to expect from James Veach. And it's been a pretty good start to the career so far. Did so well there. Looking just a touch looser in the air than some other riders we've seen today. Yeah, and there's that little revert at the bottom, and then talking about how these boards are set up switch, they really don't ride so well backwards, and that caused James Veach to front punch. Wait to see where that score comes in, but it is 13th place, and 2 from last for James Veach today with a score of 60. A lot of high scores in this competition. Keelan Venning's going to take the win. I don't know how many Snowboard Challenger Series wins there's been for Ireland so far, but I think he's the only one to have ever done it.
Well, snowboard men category is over today on the Betaforca face. It's what a start, Will. It's been quite an impressive performance for the snowboarders. We've seen lines on different aspects. We've seen quite a good variety. We've seen tricks too. Yeah,
I've seen a lot of tricks, and Nicholas Huber completely blew my mind, taking too much risk out there. What I quite like from the judging is they've really focused on who's using the mountain properly, who's looking for those triples, riding in exposure, linking those freestyle elements into really steep terrain that's consequential. That's what free riding's all about.
Absolutely, and they've really made the most of the snow, because you cannot always do this when you don't have the appropriate snow. And well, today apparently was a really good day for this, so I'm glad they could actually send it.
Yeah, interested to see just how that evolves throughout the rest of the day. I think it might get a little bit heavier, and always the snowboard men with that particular piece of equipment, the snowboard just makes heavier snow look a little easier anyway. So a little worried for how it's going to progress into the skiing later on. Conditions could get more challenging.
That's true. Well. Keelan with the ticket in his hand. He is indeed qualified for the 2027 Freeride World Tour. This has just happened.
Huge career-changing moment for the young man. First Irish individual to compete in snowboard freeriding at the very top level. Keelan Venning, take a bow, young man. Very, very well earned. Huge hugs from the rest of the team. And I'd be remiss in my duties as a snowboard commentator, freeride commentator, without saying the camaraderie between those guys is unbelievable. They'll all be giving him big hugs, and there'll be a big party to celebrate Keelan tonight.
Right, and we've got Paul in second place.
But interesting to see Timmy Schroeder, our man on the bubble and inside at the moment, coming down in 12th place finish today, and that won't necessarily help his storm towards the Freeride World Tour. So a bit of pressure on to Timmy Schroeder with just one contest left to go for the snowboard men. We're getting ready, get back to the top for the snowboard women. And again, Tiffany Perrotin looking like a very strong favourite to go through to the Freeride World Tour at the moment, with Selena Webber hot on her heels, but there is a few thousand points between them there. Other favourites, Sarah Backer coming back from the Freeride World Tour, just trying to find her feet again a little bit, but really hard to write Sarah Backer off in this sort of environment. Those would be my top 3 picks for today. Tiffany Perrotin, Selena Webber, Sarah Backer, look out for them, but we've got a lot of other brilliant women, including Julia Botazin.
Exactly, and she is the Italian rider. Today she's going to have a lot of fans at the bottom of the space cheering up for her, yes, first drop out of the start gate. She's going for a second one.
Yeah, nice playful, and now
Really nice pop.
running speed out of that second air to find a third air and keep control and rip through. So I just think in the context of this field, that's really fast, aggressive riding that's going to pay for it come the end of the day. And now let's see how she deals with the toe edge traverse, where a couple of people have come up a cropper today.
Exactly. Well, better be on the toe edge. Julia, goofy rider, heading towards the liquid right side of the space.
Notably narrow stance, I would say, which always increases the speed you can rotate, perhaps reduces the stability you've got a little bit, but makes it a lot easier to control your speed with these short, sharp rotations like that. Fantastic from Julia Bottasat.
Well, she is sending some real nice turns. This is really aggressive riding today from Julia.
Yeah, and beautiful work in the open field, slashing, playing with it. Judges love to see that, just demonstrating that your technique is solid. Oh, and then that was really beautiful. Quick set-up turn, huge pop, grabs Mute and stomps. Nate, a double left below her, perhaps taking it as a single and just cruising out on the 4 line and all the way to the finish line.
Managing her speed really well because the snow suddenly looked like it was really, really fast and hard.
Pretty fantastic way to open up the day for Julia.
Absolutely. Women's category in snowboard has started. Julia setting up
And we saw
what's going to be the baseline.
the judges not afraid to go into the 80s with those first scores in the snowboard men's, and somehow slightly feel like this might deserve something similar here. Could really be a high scoring start.
Absolutely. Yeah, could very much be in the 80s. There, yeah, that looks like a happy Julia. All right, she's been waiting all morning, and now the time has come.
And it's just loads of moments. She just demonstrates super high levels of skill. As you say, shutting down off that very last cliff with the speed, all the air and style, the quick setup turn, and then the power in the pop and the mute grab. 74.67. So judges hedging their bets a little bit more, perhaps expecting an awful lot out of these snowboard women today, because I thought that was a fantastic start to the day.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's see.
Shout out Rowley in the independent snowboard school back in Verbier. Just saw the sticker on a snowboard.
Absolutely. And yeah, if you're around in Verbier and want to have a really nice snowboard lesson, then you know who to hit up. Laurence Barrault, Frenchie on course. Our Laurence has been training so hard this season, going to Chamonix every once in a while from Verbier. As well, she's training in hardcore places just around the corner, actually. And now she is in Monterosa, some of her favorite spot, mainly for cappuccino, but also for pow.
Kind of like that approach in getting away to the traverse track. Yes, perhaps missing the cliff, but where other people took 10 turns, she just took one huge heel edge turn and boosted the speed over here. A little bit of a control issue setting up into the traverse track there, though.
But she did get there with much more speed, see? And she is able to actually hold onto this traverse quite high.
Yeah, and as we said, that's always a struggle for the regular rider on the heel edge here.
Exactly, so she could really anticipate this, which is a really good proof of...
Yeah, the tactics, the line planning, as well as, of course, the skill and the execution. But there's a shark there.
Ooh. That
was definitely something under the snow rather than something she did. Yeah, we see from the front angle how many rocks are peppering that section of the face.
Big snow alligators trying to grab her feet. We know them.
Setting up on the Gaban-Bouzan backflip cliff, if we can call it that, and going pretty massive on it. Nice air. Taking the 4 line of it as well. Slightly letting the shoulders get out of shape, but bringing it back together in the landing and getting the landing gear down.
Totally, yeah, beautiful riding. This is quite flowy as well. From the beginning, Laurence Barrault proving that all of her experience since years on the qualifiers.
And this is always an element of free riding, to just read how the snow conditions would change in different parts of the face relative to the direction of the sun, the temperature of the day. And I think that's really proving a struggle for the riders, especially towards the bottom here, and it's going to prove for Laurence Barrault to just trip her up as it gets heavier as we get towards the more easterly aspect as we exit the bottom of the face.
What a shame, because choosing to go for this last feature was a strategy, and unfortunately that did not work out because she could have gone straight and avoid it, but man, it was just too tempting.
Bit of a heartbreak hotel, that last one, as the conditions start to get worse and worse down the bottom. More people hitting it, snow getting heavier, more of a bomb hole to contend with in harsher conditions anyway. So Lawrence Burrow, I think, does have to slide in behind Julia Bottles in for now, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Well, the first mistake caused by the shark really could have been probably gone discreet, but the second one, unfortunately, was too evident.
Yeah, I might know a lenient judge or two would let you get away with it being a shark's fault. There it is. There's another one in there that I perhaps didn't spot live. So you got sharked out twice then, plus the personal error at the bottom, if we can call it that. And into second place for now with the reasonable 13-point gap between Julia above her. So 23-point gap. There goes Will's maths again.
All right, interesting. Well, we have Gosha in the gate right now. Gosha has been on the podium recently. She really wants to get back on it. This is something you get very quickly used to. First little drop out of the corner there. All right, Gosha is aiming far riders right.
And yeah, we haven't seen that. That pretty much is the last line she's just passed. So the most riders right of anyone so far today. And we know it's steep and exposed below her now, and your line selection is absolutely critical from this point onwards.
Absolutely, because what you cannot see is the amount of exposure that Gosha is onto. There's about 3 cliff bands just below her, and she is pointing out in between the rocks and dirt out there, coming back, traversing slightly to somewhere she'd like to escape from. Check out those cliffs below her.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The judges don't directly have exposure written in the criteria there, but they've got to appreciate that that's just landing with that below you is more difficult to manage the psychology. It has to be right. If she'd made any error there, it was a complete no-fall zone, and we've been watching a pretty horrible accident. So fantastic riding from Gosha.
Exactly, and she is going for the double, managing her speed in the middle.
Oh, did so well to shut the speed down in between the cliffs, but that same error occurred as one of the snowboard men who came out of there a bit faster, but it looks really flat on the exit of that particular double, and they're all getting shot into the jet ski, shooting that front foot out and wiping out, I'm afraid. One more cliff below Gosha, though, who has done a fantastic job of route finding, even if there's a couple of execution and fluidity question marks in the run. Just to have ended up in the right place throughout all of that particular line is a very impressive feat of free riding.
Exactly. All right, pretty aggressive, very creative line from the top. Definitely some hiccups on the way, but man, that's interesting. That's something that Gosha is going to need to work on, and I mean the judges and we'll want to reward this because it's definitely pushing snowboarding further.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. Beautiful line. I love just the ambition to really ride steep and exposed like that. Takes so much to get yourself calm in a start gate when you've got that idea below you. And Gosha, with a huge smile on her face, proving that she's got the mindset needed for this level of competition, this level of risk and exposure.
All right. Well, this is a smiley Gosha. She's probably very happy about this because when you know you're going into such all right, 59.3 points, putting Gosha in the second place. Only 6 points behind Julia, and it's very interesting for the judges to be able to score such different lines. I guess this is also very inspiring for all of the other riders, especially the 2 next categories that are watching from the bottom at the moment. The skiers, men and women, and they've seen the first rider go onto the very left side of the Betafurka face. it's quite interesting for everybody to see, to check out the quality of the snow. It's kind of a forerunner job, really, but as the sun is affecting snow all day, conditions are very much changing, so it's nice to see someone. All right, Tiffany Perrotin, Freeride World Tour champions. Back in the days, she's totally battling to get back on it today. Huge hit out there from Tiffany. That's probably the fastest one we've seen. This is so tough as well. I love that she is riding her own style, her own speed. She's being so true to herself this season on the challengers, and it's really, really nice to see this. Tiffany Perrotin was 2 cliffs from the very top, and she is coming in with a pretty nice speed actually out of this traverse. We're not getting bored.
Wow, the speed.
Yeah, check this out. Straight lining, and she knows exactly where she's going. She might have a really nice idea of the cliff that she wants to jump straight away. Check this out.
Back into the Busan backflip hit and grabs Mute. Goes massive for Tiffany Perrotin. So clean as well. The whole run's just got that impression, positive impression on it, that she knows what she's doing. She knows exactly where she's going.
Absolutely. Well, there's such a difference. The gap between this riding and what we've seen, what we're usually seeing, is just huge. I mean, I feel like we're witnessing Freeride World Tour riding right now. She's so confident, so solid on her feet.
And credit to all of the women's snowboard fields in World Tour and Challenger. The top limit of the sport has expanded at just an incredible rate lately. Now we're seeing those freestyle elements come in, so many of them putting those 360s together. Massive speed from Tiffany Perrotin, exposure, big cliffs, perfect execution, great control. The line selection, beautiful. What can we say? The sport is on the up and up, and Tiffany Perrotin's at the front of that, driving it forward.
100%. She is on duty today. All right. Maybe she needs a little breather.
A little puff.
But, well, I mean, she delivered exactly like she wanted. I feel like the judges are definitely going to reward this. Check this out. First indie grab straight out of the gate. She came out with so much speed, and then the second one was huge. She manages the landing perfectly.
What do you think, Elise? It's got to be around Julia, isn't it?
What do you want to do? If you're a shark, you really want to grab her, what do you do? She's always in the air. Check this out. Boom, muting the last drop. No, Tiffany on fucking fire today. Oh, excuse my French.
Well, that's you never even swear in your personal life, Elise. That's how passionate she is about that performance from Tiffany Perrotin, going in the first place, 85.67, and looks like she might be booking a ticket to that Freeride World Tour. That is not going to hurt her chances. Fantastic performance from Tiffany.
Very, very good. Scoring 10 points above. This is what the judges wanted to see to actually open the 80s.
Here we go then, Bryony Johnson, next to our Australian riders out of the gate.
Yay!
Just super impressed with how these folks have taken to big mountain European riding. Came over here for the last few years, and same as Fawn Hardwick and the whole team, just pushing the limit
Absolutely.
right now.
So much energy into Bryony's body and mind. She's just incredible to hang out with. It's so nice, and you can tell by the way she is snowboarding.
And have a look at the technique. That's stacking over the back foot, throwing up some snow for the play of it, grabbing Indy off that one. For sure, I just fell over on my heel edge, but look at the skill of the athlete, just controls it, digs it in. Bryony Johnson now onto the traverse track and entering it a little lower and slower than some people on the toe edge, but see her struggle across this one. You say the judges clearly made a point of being a little bit lenient with the fluidity in that section anyway. Just as it's a uniquity of this face.
Exactly. Bryony's traversing back into the center part of this face.
I haven't really seen anyone ride here yet.
Exactly. That sounds really good.
Here we go then. A little bit of hesitation onto the top of the cliff, but then taking it nicely, a little bit cross-court.
Oh, this is where the really hard snow is.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You can see the effect from that slough above has compacted the snow below. Riders earlier in the season pushing snow down onto the flatter sections below the cliff, and then that absorbs the sun, and once it's more compacted it can be, especially on a snowboard, to control on that heel edge can be a real nightmare. Oh, look at that
Absolutely.
return, though.
Oh yeah, Brianny's finding really good snow again. Yeah, and popping really nicely.
I wonder if that is going to feel altogether heavier to the skiers, though, with a little bit less surface area under their feet. Bryony doing a beautiful job keeping the speed up and using the surface area of that snowboard to float through it. One more grab, one more cliff, and it's on top of a double, so she needs to find an exit air here, and Bryony Johnson, a little bit of a lack of fluidity throughout the run, but a fantastically ambitious line choice.
Absolutely, and really adapting to the snow quality as well.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe the most impressive thing, and don't want to suggest that Australians shouldn't be as good, but they only really ski slush and bits of powder here and there, but to have to experience all 6 different types of snow that Bryony just has through that face, and to have the control and experience to do what she did, it's fantastic.
Right. Oh, she did come in with an indie grab.
Here's the moments of just questioning the hesitation on a couple of these cliffs, and the judges will take account that she's taking that cross court, as we call it, not on the foreline of the cliff, slightly shortening it. 3 indie grabs in total, then we'll call that the triple. Bryony Johnson awaits the score, and the judges wasting no time on the 68.33 and put you into 3rd place for the moment.
Okay, very nice. Well, new line as well. I love that those ladies are being so creative today.
Yeah, I think we're seeing that line was being paid really hard there because of the exposure of it, taking the foreline of the face. We're back at the top though. Sarah Backer, one of my top picks for the day. Perhaps not absolutely on current form, but in terms of historical form and what I know she's capable of. And I think her head just seems to be coming really good at the moment. So let's see what Sarah Backer's got for us. Yeah, really nice turns into those open sections, fairly fast out of the first cliff, and then making it playtime while she's got some time.
Absolutely. There was some proper solid riding on this first part before she just started the traverse. And then she's not even bothering traversing all the way. And she's coming back full line onto the face.
Yeah, I love this, and I think I said ahead of the contest that I thought the winning lines would be somewhere in here, where there's more exposure, there's a lot more cliffs on that foreline. If you can link them all together, proving the point there as my heart races for Sarah Backer falling over above the exposure.
Yes, and Will, it was so steep where she landed. Unfortunately, it's so hard to get. You had to manage your board heel side in those places.
Yeah, she did so well to control the crash, even to shut it down, and then back into it, kept her head in the game. Reasonable execution out of that bottom band, and finding another cliff now. No other lines around her here. Sarah Backer creating her own Michelangelo's masterpiece on this one.
Ooh, Italian references, Will. I like it. Absolutely. Well, this is indeed a really nice painting that Sarah is giving us today, riding down.
And probably has the most cliffs out of absolutely anyone, doesn't she? With no hesitation really on any of it. Real foreline on the line. It's just that one control issue, and we know Tiffany Perrotin at the top had none of them. But that line, for my money, could well beat, just in terms of the line criteria, that well beats Tiffany Perrotin. It's just the control.
The execution of it might not be
because
on top today.
Especially as we've kind of seen them really punishing those errors in exposure. Maybe not so much in the women's field. They were being really harsh on that in the men's, where they've been a little bit more lenient on errors in when just getting across the traverse track in the end. And whilst it was very well controlled, this was one of the scariest crashes of the day to me. If she starts rolling there, then the cliff below her is...
Absolutely, because you can't see, because we're so close to the rider right now, but really where Sarah is in the face at this moment is so exposed, is so steep.
Yeah, a beautiful riding all round though. You can at least see what I was talking about in terms of the technique, in terms of the pedigree of Sarah Backer. She's well capable of getting back on that world tour, even if it might be a battle for another date, because she hasn't won this one. In 5th place at the moment, 56.67.
Alrighty. Well, indeed, really good points for the line, and then some of them taken down because of the control in the landings. Well, we are getting back up for Lou Ruiz, qui nous vient de France, qui fait partie de la Free Ski Academy.
Shout out to our man Alex, stood in the wind at the top, dropping them in for us.
Absolutely. Lou's riding in Teen, which is training in Lizark with all of the team. They're traveling together. There's such a great vibe in this group, and really you can tell it is pushing themselves.
Here we go then. Lou Ruiz pushes out the start gate, out to the riders' right, as we've seen a lot of the ladies start with lately.
Very nice. Lou aiming for a beautiful drop. Yes, that she is the first one to take.
Snow still looks in
Landing in the middle.
really good nick at the top. We did mention in the pre-show we were worried about that rider's right side of the face, a bit more easterly and catching a bit more sun, but no problems for Lou. Did look a little bit heavier in that landing, but she pushed through it.
Absolutely. I love that she's she's just seen and spotted those two cliffs that nobody had been on.
Yeah, in a zone where a lot of people have ridden to be finding new ways of doing things. Always
Exactly.
something for the judges to be...
That's a new painter for us today.
Yeah.
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci, another one. A few more Italian references to come. Yeah, judges will have raised an eyebrow at, just painting your own tapestry instead of copying everybody else's. That's one aspect of this sport.
All right, that's where we have seen Tiffany pointing it down. Well, Lou's, yeah, she's been managing the sharks, and now she is pointing it down as well.
Tiffany just a touch more fluid between the features, but Lou going for something bigger altogether here. We've not seen
Let's
anyone
go.
from any field on this one, and Lou Ruiz.
And she's
Beautiful.
stomping it.
Now we can be challenging Tiffany Perrotin towards the top, the line, the Aaron style.
Oh, yes, por favor. Let's go, Lou Ruiz. Yes.
But
all right, showdown.
will this be a check-in to the Heartbreak Hotel? We've talked about it being a bit flat off this particular bottom band. The curse of the
unfortunately, and she
commentator.
is managing. Oh man, what a shame. She just maybe wanted too much for today, because it was perfection until now.
My heart genuinely breaks. I thought it was at least second place. It was right up there with Tiffany Perrotin. Just a question on fluidity to that point, but it was one of the more technical line choices with the biggest air and style of the day in that women's field. But then Lou Ruiz, I gave her the curse of the commentator. I mentioned the flat landing at the bottom, and it did prove to come true.
Absolutely.
The Heartbreak Hotel. Just a single room for Lou Ruiz, please.
No, that's heartbreaking. All right, I am speechless. So much given into this run, and yeah, I mean, with that last cliff, to be honest, she was short to actually, get at the very top, and that's why she wanted it. So it was definitely worth trying.
Look at fantastic technique landing, dead square, completely stacked with the shoulders through both of those, and you can see the board trying to punch behind her, but she keeps the core strong and pushes the weight through that back foot. And then she in fact end up shuffling into that one, switch to revert and get the takeoff done anyway. That was a real struggle, and it is now too flat, or I think too heavy in those flat landings at the bottom. Lou Ruiz could have been second place, ends up in 7th, I think, on a 49.67. Tiffany Perrotin must have had her heart racing for a minute.
Yeah. Definitely. Although, you know what? I feel like Tiff doesn't really mind the season. She's so much riding for herself, and in such, peace of mind that it's proving to be working, to not have like your nerves overheated.
That's a beautiful place to be, and if we don't mention it at least 5 to 10 times per Freeride show, the quality of the family, the way we all look after each other in this sport, especially in the women's snowboarding, one of the tightest packs of individuals, and they'll be hugging Lou and making up for that one. We're on to Selena Webber, by the way, one of my top picks for the day. And currently in second place, chasing Tiffany Perrotin in the overall standings for the Challenger season.
And she has been chasing, yes, beautiful drop from Selena Webber. She's been chasing the world, her spot on the world. I am losing my words. On the world tour for a while now. She was so close getting on it last year, and she's definitely going to keep chasing it until it happens.
Yeah, just one of the most committed individuals. Such a positive attitude. Love the way she approaches the mountain. And spoiler, the second half of the Challenger Series new power couple is Selena Webber. alongside Remy Benamo. I think the combination of the two of them reading mountains together could lead to a real progression in both of their riding, and they're both at the top end of the sport, so could lead to women's snowboarding just moving forward even further.
Very nice drop out there. Selena coming out with some speed.
Absolutely shredding for the moment. Now slowing it right down to have a think about finding the line and looking for the same cliff that we just saw from Lou Ruiz. Will taking it a little bit smaller. That proves how impressive it was that Lou took the full line of that, stomped it with speed. Selena just taking it more cautiously.
Yeah, quite interesting. Goofy rider, regular rider as well, like the way to approach, features. Quite interesting.
But Selena, importantly, turning right and moving away from the Heartbreak Hotel.
That's right. Is she going to keep a little treasure for herself at the very bottom?
It's a small double at the bottom here. I think I know that was kind of Selena's backup line, thinking the snow would be better for her over on this side of the face. She was going to take more risk and try and run the 4 line straight below the start gate. But I think just on the radio and to Remy at the bottom, learning what she has done from the snow conditions, deciding to take less risk, and in the end, that not paying off for her. She's had a little control issue anyway.
All right, very interesting. Indeed, it is, yeah, such a good hand to have other people's view from the bottom and the capacity of looking at what the other riders are doing in order to decide whether the snow is good for yourself or not.
And we'll call that a wry smile from Selena. Still happy enough to be out there snowboarding, but of course she'd have wanted a little bit better for herself on the exit of her biggest feature. Strong concept of a line, just this control issue that's going to count against her in the score. And I think there, yeah, Erin Star-wise versus Lou Ruiz, she was obviously going a bit smaller and taking it off the edge there. 69.67, she does squeeze into 3rd place for the moment, even that little butt check, the ambitious line paying off for her.
Well, and we only have 2 more snowboarder girls coming out. Well, none but the least, Nuria Castanbaron from Spain, World Tour rider that is trying to stay on the World Tour for next year. Nuria's such experienced rider.
Exactly. Of all the riders we've got in this field, Nuria has more World Tour experience than all of them put together, pretty much. Has been there or thereabouts for all those years. We saw her adding these freestyle elements into her repertoire lately. Backside 360 in Montafon was perfectly executed, and otherwise she's always been an impressive big mountain rider.
Tiffany Styles, she's already been hitting the 2 first hits super solidly. She's coming in out of it with a lot of speed. She's hitting a 3rd one before she even gets on the traverse.
And now we'll see her execute the traverse, and as quick as anyone coming into it. Will she drop on these central lines here? Well, we also saw massive scores from a few ladies taking the central 4-line steep cliffs there. But Nuria deciding to carry on the traverse, aim for that line that worked so well for Tiffany Perrotin. That's put Selena Weber in 3rd place, Tiffany Perrotin in 1st for the moment. If Nuria Castanbaron can execute here with a bit of control and fluidity, then we know the line can be used to get on the top of the podium. Nice technique, strong ollie, get around and over those rocks.
Yeah, nice kind of transferring just to make sure that she's managing her speed, putting her board sideways. All right, she's coming in. Oh, for the beautiful drop in the middle of the rocks. Nuria, head down. All right, coming back up pretty fast.
To that point, we're similar in terms of fluidity and line choice to Tiffany Perrotin, but that control's going to start to bring the thermometer down, as Bertie described it at the start of the show. Judges just starting to feel a bit cool after the control issue. Then a slightly smaller cliff and a safer option to exit the face for Nuria Castanbaron. Ambitious line choice. Had she executed on the biggest cliff in there, then this absolutely should be challenging for the podium. Still could be. With Selena Weber also having a small control issue in 3rd place at the moment, but I think Selena's cliff altogether more technical and larger where she had the control issue. Perhaps not larger the way she took it, but more technical to set up onto. So Nuria Castanbaron could be in the question around the top 3. I think realistically more towards the top 5.
Absolutely, and well, this is quite a game changer for our next Freeride World Tour riders, because that is going to change Tiffany's place. All right, check out this beautiful drop at the top. Nuria's, yeah, really solid. She's such an ambitious rider as well.
And one of the most dedicated sort of rider you see. You know, she's training in a garage in the summer, obviously doing the fitness bits that you need to, but also practicing rail tricks on dry land. Just every element of the sport interests her. She's always pushing on with it, always focused. And she will be sick today, 57.67, which is not going to help her take Tiffany Periton's card, which isn't quite booked yet, but she's looking more and more favourable to end up on that World Tour next year.
Absolutely. Coming very, very close. Well, it is such a shame. Like, no mistakes seems to be the key today. Because if one of those riders could have done just a run with no mistake, then they would be challenging the very top, and that's not happened quite often.
Yeah, that was the conversation I had with Selena when selecting between those two lines. Do you take the central core where all the risk is at and therefore the points, but the chances of actually executing that are extremely low? In the end, Tiffany Periton perhaps taking a slightly more conservative line, still ambitious in its own right, lots of cliffs in it, but not as much risk and exposure as those central couloirs, and that's what's in first place at the moment. So judges looking for fluidity and control as much as ever, and all these ladies displaying extremely high level of technique. It's hard to split them on that one sometimes. Fluidity and control seems to be the two criteria that are just about splitting this, with a lot of ladies stepping to add some air and style, some big cliffs in the runs.
Very nice. Ellie from the snowboard club from Alpe d'Huez. She's training out there, and it's pretty stoked to be able to travel for the comps, exploring new places. She loves running, climbing, cycling, skateboarding. What a rider.
Goofy rider finishes the traverse track then, and it's starting to look really peppery directly below us. Very difficult to navigate the sharks and end up on one of these cliff options below that can be jumped. Taking a bit of cross court, and again I'll mention that the judges over the years getting harsher and harsher on that, especially in the snowboard women's field, trying to push the riders to take the four line, to take the ambitious option.
All right, and Ellie aiming for this really nice drop. She is making it just next to the bomb hole, which allows her to have a really fine and clean landing.
Yeah, nice sniper approach. Found the one bit of fresh snow between the bomb holes there. Really clean landing. What do you think next to Tiffany Periton, Elise? What would be your thoughts in terms of her fluidity so far?
Well, I mean, I still have
Goosebumps?
goosebumps. Thanks. All right, check out this bottom run from Tiffany's, like going across all of the sharks. No brainer, and that's and it works. Like
Yeah.
you just wanna fly over them, and I have not seen this at any other moment in the snowboard category. So I must say, yeah, Tiffany might just be staying on top. Although, yeah, I mean, really, really nice run from Ellie today. Yeah, she's got this border cross experience as well, and you can tell, yeah, really strong riding.
And perhaps we can say that the lines were comparable directly, Tiffany and Ellie's choice. But as you very astutely mentioned, the approach through the rocks there, where Tiffany just used speed to fly straight over all of them. The loss of fluidity created by just hesitating here and then taking it cross court, doing very well to get through all the rocks. But if I'm going to compare that directly against Tiffany Periton's approach, then I think I do have to rank Tiffany above for the moment.
Yeah, you know what? Well, it's so nice to have her live on this event, because Ellie's going to be able to watch herself. Oh, which is getting to the third place. Let's go with 71 points.
And I should have been mentioning that. Yeah, really similar line to Selena Webber as well, but without the control issue. Selena perhaps taking that slightly more difficult cliff, but taking it way smaller than Ellie was able to on Tiffany's big line. So there's the big hug from the family, the camaraderie. That's mentioned number 3.
Indeed. Well, what a great show from the snowboarder women today. We've been seeing a lot of openings on this face. We've been seeing beautiful drops. We've been seeing sharks. We've been seeing pace and speed management. Yeah, there's been a lot, Will.
I think that's what I'm really starting to see. It happens more and more often from this snowboard women's category. They're drawing lines on the mountain that no one has thought of yet. The snowboard men hadn't stepped to go that far out on the riders' right and use those steep exposed areas. Particularly seeing the sport progress in that approach of going quite big on genuinely exposed cliffs, where if you don't shut the speed down behind that, you're toast. That kind of thing has been absent from snowboard women's riding for a long time, and now it's really starting to show its head, and that's why Tiffany Perrotton is on top right now, going really big and going really fluid, and she has booked the ticket.
Why she's going to the Freeride World Tour next season. Tiffany Perrotton qualified with her first place, followed by Giulia Bottatin and Ellie at the third spot.
And that one fills my heart with joy. As you say, just a rider who's been chasing it for years and years and seems to have found their personal groove right now. Be in the lane they need to, feeling really happy, doing it for themselves and all the right reasons. And yeah, Tiffany Perrotton, now going to be a serious one to watch on the World Tour. Can't be more excited for next year now, and the future of women's snowboarding has got me really excited.
Very true. Well, it's been so nice to see as well 18 years old and 38 years old women battling on those challengers. It's just so inspiring to have all of those women, spending time together and just sharing big hugs and hot seats together.
Right, we're about to move on and get into the ski men's category. We've got lots of big names to talk about. Noah Viemo, I'm going to give a big shout out for coming from my old local haunt, Nondar Freeride club, on the top of the list there. But Oscar Mandan coming back from the World Tour. Federico Di Michele, the local wild card, is definitely going to be one to watch out for. Paul Di Portales, coming back from the World Tour, just one of the most aggressive big mountain riders going. But Alex Williams, the name above him there, one of the most talented youngsters to ever play the game. Of course, Simon Zwischenberger is going to be the leader as we stand at the moment, with Alex Hackle chasing him really closely. Just want to bring our attention back to the face for a brief moment, because I'm starting to get a bit more concerned about the change of the condition. You see where the sun is catching more acutely onto the snow, hitting it at a sharper angle. That solar radiation is absorbing into the snow. It's getting heavier and heavier. And whilst the snowboarders tend to make that look a little bit easier, the relatively smaller surface area of skis could lead to us seeing a little bit more front punching, digging in those heavier areas, struggling to shut down speed behind cliffs when the weight of the snow is not allowing to push through it so easily. Other names to talk through. Hamish Henderson, the World Junior Championship wildcarded straight up to the Challenger Series and trying to make a charge to go straight to the World Tour, but a little bit behind it at the moment. Our top few: Simon Zwischenberger, Alex Hackle, Miguel Bimbo is also one to look out for, but that's the wrong name to pick out, because I was trying to say it's Maxime Charbot are our top three aiming for that World Tour ticket, the top four men going through. Other riders that have impressed me recently: Mathis Fornacier, we had at the Nondar Backcountry Invitational, wasn't necessarily his forte, but he was going so big on everything. Even if he was only doing 360s and 720s, he was battling the double 1080s in that particular contest, because he's just so fast. Look out for Jordan Ray, another British rider. Very rare to see them represented here in the World Tour. Are we in fact underway here with Noah Villamo? Took us by surprise, straight to it. The youngster from Nondar, super strong rider, and will go aggressive on the first 360. Had no idea he could put the landing gear down on that one, thought he was off the axis and it was surely going to hot tub, but somehow Noah Villamo, a little bit of a wheelie, but rides out the biggest 360 of the day, and now into the billy goat line, finding enough snow to ski through somehow. Another left 360, similar control issue over the left heel, dropping the shoulder into the snow on this one, but the judges are still going to have to think that these are worth some points. Another massive 360, Noah! There's no landing on that one, and Noah has gone for a tumble. And yeah, I think we'll reiterate the change in snow condition towards the bottom of the face, particularly on the rider's right, where the aspect faces more to the east and has caught more of the morning sun. It's getting firmer, it's getting heavier. It's transforming as it absorbs moisture from the air and its temperature raises. And Noah Villamo, on his third massive 360 attempt, ends up finding the landing very flat, getting kicked out of it. And his gear is strewn all over the mountain face for now, so we'll wait for a ski-doo to get down to him, first one of the day. As ever with the men's category, we go hard early. Noah Villamo doing the right thing and setting the tone for the rest of the day. Looks to be in good physical order, Noe Villamo. For all our friends watching back in Dondar, he's clearly absolutely fine. He's just going to be a minute getting back, getting his equipment back before we can get him off the face. There's a solid 50 to 100 vertical meters of falling done there. Backpack full of snow. Helmet and goggles full of snow. And here comes one of our local volunteers, the Ski Ninjas as they're known, collecting the equipment for everyone. What would we do without them? It really is one of the greatest public services you can deliver in freeride skiing. If you can be a ski dude, if you have the skill set, then please do volunteer for your local competition. Means the world to us and allows us to keep these competitions going, because that would be probably after a bit of fatigue in his legs from the run. That could be a 15-minute hike for Noe Villamo to cover the 100 vertical meters to his snow there, to his skis there, sorry. Binding's absolutely doing their job in that crash. Of course, if you're going to end up in a violent tomahawk, much as Noe did, it's a good job those the skis and poles release from you. Also, always the top recommendation to not use your pole straps when free riding. You don't want those things digging in, especially in an avalanche scenario. They can really anchor you into the snow. So best not to put your pole straps on, and make sure your binding dins are set appropriately. There we go. 0.65, so the tradition there, if you lose all your equipment, you get scored where the run approximately would have gone, but so it's 0.65 as if it would have been a 65-point score had he landed that one. Oscar Mandan, next man, previously...
Freeride World Tour rider coming back out here on the Challenger for redemption.
Oh.
Sending it.
Bit of a
huge
tricky angle cut. We'll get you with the replay on that, but I think backflipping out of that first cliff there.
I wonder. It was hard to see.
Yeah, but definitely a small control issue on the exit of it regardless. Now getting into the Nar, needs to watch, especially in this men's category, keep that fluidity up, no hesitation above those cliffs.
He's popping them just to make them even bigger than they already are, which is pretty incredible.
Little bit cross-court, but absolutely massive. And into the exposure again, doubling through. Look at the change in the snow condition at the bottom there. There's the back slap. Get to this altitude, and it all seems to start to change for him. So that's going to be a...
That's true. It looks like the snow suddenly is quite sticky.
Yeah, and you can see...
Oscar disappearing.
Oh my! Oscar Mandan out of nowhere quite literally disappears behind the cliff. And then I had no idea that was possible. Backflipping to the moon. Perfect stomp in the end. And of course, we'll roll into first place for now, with only Noe Villamo gone and one crash so far. Oscar Mandan. Let's have a look at the hit at the top without the change of angle if we can, and understand that that's a 2 backflip run. Both of them executed to a reasonable level. Not much in the hesitation in between. Half a back slap on the third cliff, is it? Oscar Mandan. That's a pretty impressive run all round, and may well stand up come the end of the category.
All right, check this out. Yes, it was a backflip at the very top.
Pay attention to the technique that requires. That cliff is pointing directly downwards. It's a 45-degree downhill, not like a backflip in the park where you get kicked by the jump. Got to put all that energy in himself, and he did perfectly. Then the double, which just had a, I mean, it's hands down. Maybe they'll call it a stage 2 to 3 back slap there. But there's not that much to deduct in the way of control in the end from Oscar Mandan. The line choice is crazy. The air and style is on the limit.
Absolutely.
Minor question of control.
But it's so amazing to see Oscar just stepping it to the moon level. He's been on the qualifiers for like ever since 2016, and then this is his 4th year on the Freeride World Tour. He's been maintaining himself out there, bringing up the level, bringing up his like abilities. His body's just being boom, like.
Yeah, initially wildcarded onto the World Tour 4 years ago, and then just held that place, earned his right to be there, and now looking to earn it back. With a run like that, you can see why he should be there.
Oh yeah, I feel like he was having a really nice time on the World Tour, and that's where he belongs. Oscar Mandan trying to stay at the very top.
and will of course be first place. 84.33 reasonable score, but I'm almost saying the judges keeping their powder dry with that. I guess making a deduction for the control issue, perhaps just a hint of a fluidity deduction on the middle cliff band, and that just makes a point of what level they truly expect from the ski men. Gabin Xiao, gonna have to help me with my French pronunciation, Elise.
Well, I won't have that much time because Gabin is such a fast rider and he's about to devour this face. All right, huge 360.
And would have been a bomb hole, could have been problematic, but as you mentioned, it's behind Gabin because he's going so fast.
Absolutely. I mean, his body did not move one hinge during the impact of this landing. It feels like the Earth moved. That's how strong.
Then we could check our orbit, we might be floating lower than we were relative to the moon. And he keeps it going with the double of the speed. Gavin!
Yes, above exposure. So much exposure, and he's got so much speed, but he knew exactly where he was going. He took his time and even posed during his 360. Boom, while he was turning, and then aimed straight out of the second cliff, coming out of this with so much speed. This is exactly the type of riding that we'd like to see from Gabin.
And that's the sort of thing judges have got to appreciate, the difficulty of doing the 360 above the exposure, needing to land it well enough to have the line and the speed controlled. Then I thought genius the way he got on the right foot, used the shape of the mountain to control the speed out, and absolutely flying to the finish line. Gabin could well be challenging first place now. Oscar Mandant, with all the experience on the World Tour, all of a sudden not feeling so comfortable in the hot seat.
Yeah, absolutely, very much. And Gabin feeling very, very comfortable getting onto the World Tour, it looks like. Well, he would love to be joining his good friend Hugo Trouba out there. Oh, yeah, that was the first drop. And then check out what just happened. Super, like...
Well, that's the first 360, just goes to the back of the bomb hole. And here's the second one, as you say, with the stall, the punch through.
Easy.
And then there's so much to get done before he ends up on another cliff. Oh, my.
What?
Ooh, judges, that's a harsh one in my eye.
63 points.
The two 360s versus the two backflips, the exposure he skied in generally. He looks to Oscar, questioning whether he thinks that's a reasonable score. And I wonder if our viewers at home are as well.
We must have been doomed by some masquerade from the French.
We'll get into discussion with the judges about that yesterday. There's always the possibility they see things we don't.
Absolutely. I mean, TV does not, see everything. And they have a much better angle with their binoculars from the bottom of the face. Federico de Michiel is on the face. He wants to go to the World Tour.
I thought for sure he'd underdone it, laying it out that aggressively that early, dangled it, and then pulls the knees in last minute, gets the stomp done well beyond the bomb holes.
Oh my gosh, the wild card is on fire today. Federico is not here just for the show, and for the locals, he's here because he wants to get on the World Tour. He did.
Oh my, Federico! No. He hit a real upslope on the back of that though. It's like hitting a mogul. What is he made of? How have you just taken that impact and immediately strutted back towards your skis? Giving us a classic local show there, finding cliffs that no one else had spotted in the face check. Probably worked them out before. But once again, the comment of the heavier snow towards that middle, towards the bottom of the face, especially on the rider's right, facing that touch more easterly, catching the sun. And that is a very deep bomb hole. Federico de Michiel skis stopping immediately. They never even continued from the bomb hole. They were doing 40 miles an hour and they just stopped right there and then.
Indeed. I mean, well, this is a mutiny. The skis just decided not to go on the World Tour. I think he should just.
I mean, fair play. If I was a ski, I would appreciate not seeing this level of abuse from Federico de Michiel. What is going on? Through the rocks, and he still sets the backflip on the 45-degree down takeoff. Sets another massive backflip, and he landed it 4-point. And just to explain, that is a 0.75, so it's between 0 and 1 for losing your equipment. They're making the point that would have ranked above Noé Villemot for the line choice, the air and style, and the fluidity up until that point. But then, of course, the skis are lost, and it can't be a competitive score. Wow.
Well, please invite Federico on the Challenger next year's as a wildcard, because there's definitely some good show to have.
Yeah, that was one of the more impressive shows, and if if anybody could use one run to kind of demonstrate that they deserve a ticket to this level of competition, then I think that's a reasonable effort from Mr. Michel. Johan Arasil is our next man in the start gate, wild-carded into the World Tour a few years ago, and just been on the up and up. That was a pretty scary event, in fact, and a backflip error on that one, but he's a very, very young guy. The body took that one, and he's only grown from that experience. And now opening up with the 360, cruising way out to the rider's right, which we haven't seen a lot of them do.
Indeed, this is the first ski man to get that far right. He knows that the limit of the comp face is just on his right, above the massive exposure, so he needs to come back slightly towards his left. Wow, and he's aiming for something big.
Oh my, left 360 and just a hint too short. Oh my, now I'm scared. Needs to get this one stopped.
Exposure. Whoa! All right, very good management inside this fall from Johan. He's keeping both his skis quite bummed, unfortunately, but he looks like he is totally fine and escaping through the rocks out there. What a show!
It did super well, and it's a great lesson to the kids out there. I mean, perhaps not a great lesson to do that 360 in that exposure unless you've got 10 years of experience at the very top level to build the skills. But the main point I want to make is you don't stop skiing once you start crashing. You got to keep thinking about what's coming. Got to keep working to get yourself away from that problem. Sometimes it's a tree, sometimes it's a horrible, massive cliff band like Johan was exposed to there, and did the right thing to finish one tomahawk, get his skis below him, commit them into the snow and get himself stopped. Oscar Mandan will maintain the lead then. Johan Arasil unable to challenge with that one. Does keep his skis and will get a score, but that one's going to be in the low 20s. Yeah, they're 19.67 then in third place for the moment for Johan Arasil, but that won't stand up for long.
What a shame, because honestly, this is a big mountain line. Being able to send a 360 in this steepness, we're talking like Baqueira steepness out there, it's really, really impressive.
Kind of worry when you say it, but doesn't he kind of remind you of Aymar Navarro? He's got a hint of the craziness about him.
I had it in my mind.
I hope his mum's not listening as I say that. Aymar was one of the craziest guys to ever do it. We're back at the top with Tenra Katsuno, the enigma from Japan. Incredible skier, difficult man to research in the end. Ended up on his blog. Understand he's a programmer in his spare time. He's opened up with a massive backflip with a little back slap.
But so strongly coming back out of it, you know, in terms of quadriceps skills, I would put him very high.
How are your limbo skills at 60 miles an hour? Tenra can stand it right up from his chin on the floor. Still always an interesting line trust. Gets the left 360, a little short on it, so just clips the rocks behind him, but stands it up.
That's true. He's chosen the right lip, though, because that really set him in the air nicely. Too bad he did land on the rocks.
And recommend going on a little YouTube mission through Tenra Katsuno's career, because it's very entertaining. What a stylish skier, got all the elements of it. Fantastic backcountry freestyle athlete and a fantastic big mountain athlete as well. He's picked a pretty big line there and executed it at crazy speed, great fluidity, the backflip and the 360. But what do I feel next to Oscar Mandan, I wonder? Could be in the question. It's definitely in the question. The top three as we stand at the moment. I think my gut would point towards second place below Oscar Mandan, perhaps for the back slap at the top. And just the 360 was a lot smaller than Oscar's second backflip, wasn't it? Let's have a look at this first backflip again. The judges will give that a stage 3. His head's pretty much in the snow behind him, so that'll get docked a fair bit. And the judges just giving them that stage 1, 2, 3 as a standard criteria to rank those errors on the exit of a backflip like that. If you see the base of the skis, it's getting on for a stage 2. If anything touches the snow behind you, it's a stage 3. Stage 1, just something not quite perfect about it.
Absolutely, and with just 1 year on the Freeride World Tour, Tenra would really need, sorry, I'm being mistaken, 2 years, and would really like a third season at there, indeed. But he probably needs to be even cleaner. And another Freeride World Tour rider, Valley Rainer.
What a nice human being, and Some of the more stylish runs I've ever seen as well. Love that technique on the backflip, the way he keeps the knees tight, but he does have the neck extended, gives him the most options for changing the speed of it. He can extend and slow down, he can pull the knees tighter and speed it up, sees the landing as early as he can. Perfect execution.
He's proving his freestyle skills before he gets into the NAR zone, the big freeride line out there on the very right side of the face. Yes.
Cheeky safety grab on the first cliff, then into the massive 3, but the hard snow conditions again, and Valley Rainer will get bucked, and it's a big tomahawk in the end. Looked really violent the way his skis dug in on that first bomb hole, and once again that bit of exposure below gets my heart absolutely racing. It's great to see an old friend ride away comfortably.
All right, and jumping that bottom cliff like if nothing as an exit. What a bummer indeed. This 360, it is such a nice spot for it. I wonder if it would change anything to not do it. It probably would, because the slope is kind of going against your landing when you're turning left.
I think that's exactly how I analyze it. He's taking it a little bit cross-court off the right foot, turning left, traveling left, but then that means the impact on the right foot when you do reach that landing, it looked huge, and it did spit the feet straight out from underneath Valley Rainer. We'll get a look at it again now in the replay. Look at that backflip, lovely technique. Little bit of a flap with the hands, but the judges aren't going to spot that at that distance. Doesn't actually grab safety, although I called it. And here's the left 3, traveling left, and he's more four-line than I gave it credit on my first watch, but still the pressure shoots through the right foot, the harder snow, bit of a bomb hole, game over.
At least I tried. Yeah.
As ever, the situation with the men's field, you've got to go so hell for leather to have any chance of challenging the top 3. The percentage of landed runs tends to drop a little bit from what we see in the other fields, but what's great is the percentage of entertainment value absolutely maximizes. Judges still having a big think about it. I think largely with those throwaway scores. In fact, their score is already in at a 42.33, and we are just looking at them having their lunch. We're ready to get back to the top for Arnaud Raymond. Looks a
Arnaud
little
Raymond
nervous.
coming out of the juniors, where he's spent 5 years already, and this is his first season on the Challengers. He is a big cliff jumper in the summer, which gives you wings, I must say. Like, spending so much time in the air allows you to really know where you are, and that's what we're about to witness. Arnaud Raymond on course.
It's all elements of that proprioception, that body control, knowing where you are in the air, knowing what position your body is in, knowing how much rotation you've got. It all adds up to be experience that's valuable for Arnaud to go massive on the 360. He did over-rotate ever so slightly, but so strong in the core, even with his shoulders passing the line of his skis, he was able to stand that one up. And it's maybe the best landing we've seen so far on that one, actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, here we are, now into the NAR zone. Tricky stuff in between. Lots of people went too small on that one, but Arnaud going twice as big as anyone else in his second 360 of the face, and this is starting to stack up.
All right, now he's definitely flying between features.
Just felt that Oscar was a hint more fluid between the features, even so, though he is flying, but Oscar didn't even take a breath. Left 3 again from Arnaud, so 3 360s, just the one with a tiny hint of an error in it, and he'll boost all the way to the finish line. And this one, definitely challenging the top 3. Will it challenge Oscar Mandan at the very top? Something in the way Oscar just attacked the skier's right side of the face. Two massive backflips and no time wasted whatsoever.
More aggressive.
More aggressive, and maybe it's just then it's in the line choice, because can you be aggressive on the line Arnaud was just on? If it's peppered and rocky in between those cliffs, you've got to shut it down. You've got to have control of your speed. Oscar just finding the space where he could just run the 4 line, 5 turns, 2 backflips, go to the pub.
That's true. All right, let's have a look at it again. Hand drag on this first 360. Yeah, and he did not even put his bottom on the snow.
Exactly.
He was really holding it.
I was worried as I saw him over-rotating it, but in the end, just strong enough to stand it up. The second one, there's not anything wrong with it at all. Completely perfect. And then just this hint of a 2 hands behind, but extremely quickly recovered, and not as big a backflip as we've seen from some. He does go into first place, 87.67. So the 3 360s proving to add up more than the 2 backflips, one with the back slap, and the judges deciding that tiny loss of fluidity on the rocky sections was just good control, good technique, and good planning to shut down and control where he did. So into first place, the new leader, 2 Frenchmen at the top.
Well, 20 years old, Arnaud Raymond. Yeah.
And now
in the hot seat at the moment. Well, there's still quite a few riders that are going to very much try to battle and push him out. Next one is Michael Bimbos. He's been on the World Tour for a few years.
Creator of, I think, the most crazy line I've ever seen on the Bec de Ros. It's not a mountain that should be straight-lined. There's something wrong in the mind of, or the risk assessment, I would say, of Michael Bimbo sometimes. He's what I would consider crazy, but in a really good way.
In a way that puts his head down, and also that loves to spin. Welcome to the spinning exhibition for Michael Bimbos today.
I honestly didn't really know that was a whole part of his trick bag for me. He's just the big mountain shredder, just finds the gnarliest cliffs. He's making it look super playful, bouncy turns, he's fast, he's fluid. We know he knows how to find where he is on a face, and here he comes into the knot. Does really well to get off that left foot, which was about to trap on a rock, releases the pressure, takes the 4-line.
Wow, very nice adaptation. He's like, all right, you want me to go here, Sharis? I'll go there. Yes, and doubling it up. Unfortunately, just putting his backpack slightly in the snow. But man, what a run until now.
You know what? Until that back slap, I really thought he could have been challenging Oscar Mandan. Now I'm less sure, but this backflip could take me back there.
Yes, he can.
Does spend 5 or 10 meters squatting that one out and trying to get it stirred up. This will be in the top 5 as well. It could be in the top 3. It's hard to say. I don't think it challenges Oscar with the 2 back slaps, does it? But it's so playful, it's so fun. It was really fast.
Absolutely. No, really, really good riding out there from Michael Bimbos.
There's only the back slaps I can take away from it, which I guess Oscar had one of those as well. So could this
Oh yeah, that could challenge it.
Could go into second place right now, couldn't it?
I reckon.
What do you reckon for first place, though? I think Arnaud with the 360s without any real control issue.
Yep. I mean,
that scared me. Never scare the judges. Never scare the judges.
Never scare the judges, that's right. But when I see it, this is the best way to handle it.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I would like to reward this.
Yeah, true enough.
That was definitely a back slap.
If you're going to end up in that situation, the knowledge to get the pressure off that left foot and get it down the 4-line, get over the rocks rather than into them.
Oh yeah. So what the back slap can do is definitely, taking your score down, and it might make you lose the points that you earned during the backflip, but you still get some points for the jump, for example.
Yeah, and I think on backflips of that scale, when there's maybe only 3 features for face, they could be 20-point individual scores. Maybe you lose half of that for the back slap. Still
Exactly.
going to be in the high 70s here, maybe into the 80s.
The rest of this line was quite unbelievable.
Oh no, looking nervous, is he? He's looking at the screen at least. He's worrying about what's going to come out. Third place, 79.67, so it does slide just behind Oscar Mandan, and Bimbos is stoked with it. He thinks that's a good score. And there were you and me thinking maybe he deserves better, but no, that's great. Into third place, Michael Bimbos. It's now 1, 2, 3 for the Frenchman at the top of the podium. And next man out from Germany, Max Zimmermann, is going to look to challenge that.
All right, and Max does love some straight airs. He loves to go big as well.
Oh, the pepper in here, though.
Oof.
Chossy, the skiing version of Choss. Lots of rocks, some of them loose. Left 3 with the hand drag. It looked as...
Slightly over-rotated, and then,
yeah. I mean, he looked as strong as anyone. 4-point position, shoulders just slightly past it, but then immediately over rotation, maybe the snow a bit firmer where he landed. Seems the option is to go too big on that cliff. If you go the right size, it's there's too many bomb holes there, so you just got to go over those. And lots of people went too small over this one, but yeah, reasonable transition found for Max Zimmermann. But I think just generally something about the line choice so far, not stacking up next to those top 3 lines for sure, is it? And maybe a hint of technique and fluidity solid skiing, but not, with these little control errors now, it's not going to challenge the top 5 even. I would
Oh, I
just
feel
have a
like
gut.
Max has stopped skiing after his fall.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just trying to get home.
Yeah.
Well, then
Nice
I'm going.
squeezing.
Nice commentary, Will. Way to recognise what's going on.
No, we'd have to ask him, obviously.
Yeah. He's cruising
But I'm
home
sure
and,
he had something else in mind.
If I had to get my ski instructor / judge's hat on, I think a lot of the time spent a little bit over the heel edge of the inside foot, not as efficient on the turns in between the features, then the control issues after the features. The line choice a little bit below some in the top 3 that we've seen. So Max Zimmerman happy to be at the bottom of the mountain, but a few take-home points from that one.
I don't know what happened. I thought I had it.
That was a steezy 3. Quite unfortunate. Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't look as over-rotated as
No.
it sort of, the exit made it look like he was completely past it, but his shoulders were pretty square and then they just carried on. Shame. There we go, Max Zimmerman slots into 6th place at the moment, 54.33, so only just warming the thermometer for the judges above that sort of start point of 50. Not enough control issues to take him below it though, and a reasonable effort in the end. Look at the wind now at the top. It's ripping across the face from their right shoulder.
oh yeah, Leo Drouet from the Frisky Academy from Les Arcs. Yeah, Leo's been so stylish this beginning of the season. So I'm really looking forward to see
Whoa!
this.
No one had used that takeoff yet, coming on the right foot to find a new angle into there and a perfect backflip. That was huge.
Absolutely. And really well composed as well in the air as Leo's aiming for the next feature.
Little bit of a Billy Goat section in here. We've seen some people have too much hesitation and go too small on this cliff, keep saying it, and then once again he's only just made the
no.
transition. Short on the left 3, finds a flat spot and gets spat out of it pretty aggressively. Big
I mean,
control issue.
That looked like a double Lincoln flat.
Accidental, what do they call that? The worm turn in the instructor schools?
Exactly.
Love it.
Yeah, pretty creative, but not Michelangelo style. Not from Italian standards, at least.
No, I think, that line choice not proving to be what the top 3 guys have done so far anyway, and then obviously the control issue on this particular execution of it, but just don't feel like it's got the opportunity to ski fast enough with enough big features on it, that line. It just seems because of the pepper in between slightly smaller features, you end up shut down, not able to take those small features big anyway. We'll see if many others prove me wrong and use that line to great effect, but for the moment, this backflip though.
Oh, yeah.
That's how that's done, and like the floor really wanted to punch him in the face there, but he just stomped on it.
Such a steezy 3.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's getting real firm under that cliff. There's a bunch of bomb holes there anyway. It's a little flatter, closer into the rocks, and loads of people going on that line and speed. So 7th place, 49 points for Leo Drouet. No doubt going to drop a little further down the order as the day goes on.
All right, next rider to be dropping, 21 years old, Xavier Chervet from Verbier.
Struggling with the pepper already. No snow there, bud. But he is lining up on that same entry we've just seen, where we saw a backflip. He gets the left 3. Potentially even harder to do off that takeoff, and really does well to stand it up. A little bit of a back slap on it, but powerful stuff.
All right, yeah, enough to make proud Coach Robin Arbelet.
Oh, nice line through here, though. Only one other person on that line for the day. Nice stomp.
All right, jumped on for the top of this face.
And the double. Keeping the fluidity up. Little back slap again. So we got 2 kind of stage 2, stage 3 back slaps in this run. It's on a line that had the opportunity, but where Oscar came through this section with the
Maybe one last 3 or
Backflip, yeah, Oscar backflip there as well, but did slightly better on the execution, and I think his fluidity was largely higher throughout. So
did Bimbo's.
yeah, I get the feeling that's around the top 5. It's definitely a competitive run, but I think I'd still have him behind Oscar Mandan in second and Mikael Bimbo's in third for the time being. Let's have a look at some of those replays, just see how bad those back slaps really were. Try and get a feel for the loss of fluidity as he gets into that peppered section out on the skier's right. Really seems to be affecting the scores. Looked a bit late on the pop, didn't he? Struggled to get set, but then just powered it round. Keep the eyes ahead of the spin. Keep looking for that landing. Keep the core tight. Lovely through the double in the middle, but then the stage 2, I would say, on the exit of that. Here's the last backflip. It is massive, slightly bigger than Oscar Bandam, but again, the back is in the snow, the shoulders all the way into the snow, and will cost him a few points. I think just keep him off the podium for now, if I was judging this one. Yeah, into 4th place then, just beaten to the podium, 77.33, and Xavier a little disappointed with those 2 back slaps, because I think without them he may well have been challenging the podium there.
Absolutely. I mean, the idea behind it definitely was challenging the podium. Execution will need to be refined, but yeah, there's definitely massive potential out there from Xavier. There's also massive potential for Noé Monnier, I must say. He's dropping in, yes, with a beautiful first drop.
The snow's still great at the top of the face here, isn't it? Even with a few bomb holes, going massive on a 360 like that seems to be no problem. You say athletes taking advantage of the sendable snow.
Oh yeah, from kayaking to freeride skiing.
Just got to be careful the snow doesn't take advantage of them a bit lower down as it gets peppery here. And now there's been plenty of people through this line. Going faster into it though, Noé.
Yes!
Definitely a transition to get to there. You've got to clear the rocks at the back of that one. And Noé Monnier with the speed.
Oh man, how strong and like powerful all of those turns were. He's so reactive on snow. Boom, changing angle so fast.
And with no control issue, this line really could be right up there. Tiny, tiny back slap, but it was out of a double. The shutdown and control of the speed before it to get onto the right foot and make the left 360 happen. Noé Monnier will now boost to the finish line. And this one's got enough for me to be challenging the podium. Bimbo should be shaking in his boots for a brief moment. Yeah, what can we say? The fluidity question, when I've been saying it's too peppered in there and maybe that line can't do it, has just been proved wrong as expected. Noé Monnier, there's always a Frenchman to prove that something can be done better than a British guy on skis, and there it is.
Let's go, super easy. From the top, and then the rapidity of those turns.
As well as just we keep talking about how difficult it is to spot takeoffs and what line you need to be on here. Slightly benefited later in the day by the tracks left on some of the takeoffs, but Noé finding his own takeoffs, finding his own way, finding transition better than anybody else in that section of the mountain and doing it consistently. This is the only minor control error of the entire run, and it's a 360 from the second takeoff of the double there. It's got to be challenging the podium, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Oh well. Yeah, Noé Monnier.
This is always the point of the day, though, where you start thinking you love judging, you get the best seat in the house, you get to watch with the most detail of your favourite things. But now it's the bottom of the men's field, and there are 25 scores that could all comfortably fit above an 80, and that doesn't make any sense anymore. You know what I mean? How do you keep calculating this? Keep all those runs, all those details in your head and try and compare directly. Does squeeze into third place, bumping out Mikael Bimbo's. It stays France 1, 2, 3, now 4 at the top of the standings at the 5th of 6 Challenger Series of the season here in Monterosa. Nemo Plan's the next man on top.
Oh, right, that's so good. That's his really good buddy. Yes, finding a really clean landing. Oh, that's softer. Nice choice, Nemo.
And great technique with the almost offensive helmet. That'll make people notice the Les Arcs logo on the front of it. Nemo Plan finding another backflip takeoff. Really had to hoik at that one, but put the power into it and got it done.
boom! And did you see those legs holding onto the landing? Oh yeah, Nemopline offering us a ticket to the roller coaster.
Another
today
left
was-
3. Whoa! Same as Noah Monia, going a bit deeper on it. There's a better transition further on that cliff. You've got to travel on it.
Man, the landing became really hard now that there's no more fresh snow out there. I can't believe how well those two kids have been handling it.
These guys maybe inspected together, did they? They're on the same line. What a recovery on the pad in between to get the stomp for Nemopline. I thought he was absolutely going front flipping off the end of it, getting spat, but he gets it together.
Absolutely holding it with the core, and then he probably jumped even further than he wanted because he was coming in so fast on the top of that last cliff, but there was no choice to point to the finish line.
Unbelievable. I think it probably then just has to keep it below Noah Monnier with a really similar concept of line. They both had tiny errors, but Nemo's is on the pad in between in the exposure where it scared me a bit more, where Noah controls this pad perfectly and then goes onto the backflip out. Beautiful backflip at the top. Man, did he have to hike that one over.
Oh yeah.
The huck, tuck, and suck, as they say. Left 360. Perfect execution. Maybe even better than Noah Monnier there. And this is the bit that scared us all. But wow, what a recovery. Goes massive in the end.
And
Stomps hard.
He even shifties it.
The chug life, heady head. Yeah, you got to have the shifty just to make a point.
yeah.
Hey, judges, I'm not out of control. I've got this. Holy moly.
That was all on purpose.
Nemo plan, keeping the excitement going. Judges are frantically scribbling at this point. This tends to mean there's going to be a bit of a moment before the score comes out. 86.67, he does. He squeezes Noah Monnier. And Mikhail Bimbo's one further down into second place. Now that's Oscar Mandan he's bumped as well, is it? Wow. The French are now 1 through 5 at the top of the Challenger standings, ladies and gentlemen. Can anyone upset their day? What is going on? Oh man, there's still so much French talent left to come. We've got Mathis Fonacier, Anthony Cott left to go. Noah Payzerat as well. Yeah, this could be a French top 10 at this rate. Let's see if Simeon Pavlov can do something about it.
Exactly. Please put Bulgaria back in the game. Yes, this is the way to go. Massive 360 out there straight out of the start gate.
So floaty, eh? Just no rush about it. He knows he's got the time in the air, and a lot of time in the air. Then solid through the second cliff, but that's, in this field, not going to add much to the points. That's maybe worth 1 or 2. But this exposure, if you can ski it with the fluidity that is, bit of a hesitation, but then he gets on with it, and Simeon finds a new line.
Absolutely, and he's found, yeah, such a nice way to actually drop into the slope out there. Beautiful second one, slide back slap, but we have not seen any tracks yet on this side, and this is quite creative.
Yeah, the later in the day you can draw that new line, the more the judges are going to wake up and think, hang on, we haven't seen that yet, that must be impressive. Whoa, fast and straight, but then gets spat.
On your feet, on your feet.
Does keep the skis on, but that's going to cost him the vast majority of any points he'd already racked up. And Simeon Pavlov, solid heater of a run until that point. And Cliff, he kind of did need something impressive on the exit to get that one into the top 5 and challenge the French anyway. But yeah, unable to execute. The control column will be dropped for Simeon. And this one's going to score somewhere around a 45 to a 55. And I think that's just outside the top 10 for now.
Oh, really nice angle from that 360 at the top, very steezy. And then Simeon just went onto the cliff hunt. And one after the other. Yeah, there was one more after this.
Col bianco.
And finally, the Frenchman in the top 3 can relax for a brief moment. Every single run for a while now has been capable of challenging the top. Goes into 12th place on 40 points for now. Simeon looking disappointed because he knows what he's capable of. And
absolutely.
Was a good day to put it on display with the snow conditions this morning, maybe, but just getting a little heavier at the bottom and coming up a cropper. Oh, we're back to the top four. I'm excited for Mathis Fornacier. Saying it at the start of the show, I've seen him in some backcountry freeride contests, which you think wouldn't be his forte. But in a game of 1080s, he was able to do 720s on cliffs and sort of ride big enough that he was challenging the standings there anyway.
Oh yeah, and after a year, last year on the Freeride World Tour, he would not be against a little comeback.
Opens up with the left three then. Little, you can kind of see the free rider in him, some of the more natural freestylers, more solid with that technique. And short, sharp backflip from Mathis, but he's stacking up the air and style pretty fast. He's only in the first quarter of the face done. He's got 2 tricks already, and where is he going here? New landing. And
All right, there was no takeoff where he actually started, but he could still make it. And he's going for something new, it looks like.
And another backflip, really laying this one out. Fantastic technique, but it's a little flat, a little heavy in the landing, so the judges will deduct something.
I mean, I'm pretty impressed by the way he's came out of it still. Ooh, and one last backflip.
Oscar Mandan's backflip spot, here we go. Identical to Oscar's, isn't it? They landed exactly the same spot. No real back slap, but a little bit of a wheelie out of the back. They might call a stage 1 in the judging booth. Could we end up here with yet another Frenchman on the podium? We've got 3 of them already. We're going to have 6, 7 of them in the top 7 any second now. Mathis Fornacier with big hugs from Mikael Bimbos at the moment, who is stoked for him right now.
Absolutely. That's exactly what Bimbos wanted to see from Mathis. Just scoring some extra points, you know, that somebody else wouldn't have and make the difference.
Yeah, that's a really good point. A lot of people just skied past that one or just did a little ollie over it. Just adding the backflip in, it's not obviously going to score like these bottom 2 did. But is that a 360? 3 backflips, all of them executed to a pretty high standard on the line that was sat in second place for most of the day. So we could see Mathis Fornacier somewhere in the top 3 here. He looks too nervous to hang around and wait for the judges. Remembered that he was sponsored by a ski brand and he should use this key piece of TV time. There we go. That's what you pay Mathis for, folks.
Exactly. Give him more skis because he's going to need them.
Yeah, especially it's peppery on this face, and the guy just does everything so aggressively. When he catches a rock, I'm sure he finishes the ski in a one-up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's quite impressive the amount of skis that these riders go through each season, because when you see them going on rocks, don't think they come out of this so clean. It's definitely a massive game changer to actually have sponsors. If you do buy your skis, you ski a very different way, and I feel like
yeah, almost at this level of competition, maybe that's it's not even possible anymore, is it? And the cost of the travel and the time it takes out of your life to do it. These guys are almost on the point of needing to go full-time professional to make it possible, which is a difficult game to play in today's market. There we are.
That's right. I love that the judges are taking their time and deliberating. Because this is something else that they've seen, and yeah, it's hard to put Mathis in between.
This is a heated discussion if ever I've seen one. Ben Carmel marshalling the troops, dragging the information out of Ludwig, who's making impassioned arguments, waving the pen around on the looker's left there. Dodo, the head judge, with a wry smile on his face as the discussion's clearly getting out of hand here. And Siobhan Chalice, the woke judge, just thinking it through. I was told to say that joke. It's in one. Sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're still waiting. Mathis Fornacier starting to look more and more indignant rather than nervous, I would say, for the judges. But let's get a score to him here. It must be coming out in the top 3. Is it in fact challenging for the top step? It's 85.33.
Well, this is a 3rd place indeed. So yeah, the Frenchies are literally taking over.
Cool. Where are we at now? Anthony Cott, we've got another high standard Frenchie about to drop into this face. It could get even more out of hand at the top there. Mathis Fornacier, 3rd place. I was kind of discussing it around there with the chances of 2nd, but yeah.
All right, Anthony, he's got yeah, his knee blown a little bit a few weeks ago in Nanda, but I really hope that this is gonna let him, yeah, just flash down the face as he knows how to do. And yes, he does.
Beautiful
Absolutely.
F3, cruising through the start.
Cool. I love that his ski style's like just as good as his hairstyle.
Love it. And it's definitely keeping it tight with the feet there. Relax and solid over the middle of everything.
We haven't seen so
haven't
many
seen a lot of
riders
men
go
take the
on
traverse, have we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a reason for that, because I think in the men's field, taking the Tiffany Periton line, boosting through it, but is that going to be enough in terms of line exposure and difficulty to really convince the judges that coming all the way over here was worth it? There's only one cliff out here. Can you do something impressive enough of it? And if it's going to be a flappy straight air, I think in the context of this men's field and what we've seen so far today.
Well, this is definitely an Anthony that is saving his knee for later.
Cruising through this one.
Yeah, coming down, making the most of the snow. He might be finding some actually real nice snow out there. All right, and cruising. All the way just being so clean as he knows how to do. And well, indeed, when you know your body, when you know yourself, you want to do something that is all aligned. And yeah, picking a line that's you're going to be able to do in the correct way is definitely the right thing to do. So big up for that. Big up for respecting your body out there, Anthony. And yeah, still scoring some points, because man, no mistake. That definitely gives you the joy of some points out there in the finish line. For 360, and then wow, fusing across all of the rocks at their really nice cliff, finding a really nice landing as well wherever there's less tracks, and it is 67 points for Anthony Cott, putting him in the 9th place. And we are back at the start gate. This is the top of the Betterford face that we could just see. It's such an impressive venue. There's so much to play on it. And Jordan Ray is definitely in for the play. All right, aiming for the first hit, and yes, 360 out of it. Unfortunately, getting tackled down straight at the landing, looking for his ball. Oh, that is so unfortunate.
Oh, and they're going to no-score him, even if it's just the one pole that he's dropped. But Jordan Ray will unfortunately not be challenging the top of the rankings with that one. And then curious one, because again, seen him in the non-dog backcountry freestyle competition. He can send it, and he's really neat. Like, I've seen him do a 1080 into powder, single cork 1080. I've never seen anybody else do it, in fact. And yeah, just seemed to catch an edge there or something. Really out of shape on the 360 from the offset, to be honest. He was out of shape in the air and then unable to control it on the landing. So Jordan Ray with a throwaway score.
Okay, interesting. And he also has planned to go after this traverse onto the right side of the space, which is really interesting. It is such a good spot for tricks. There's a couple of really good takeoffs after this very rocky zone out there. So maybe he's still aiming for this, and maybe your Cork 10 dreams will be true. Will become true.
Just again, though, we've seen, who did we just see go through there? Anthony went through it at least in a straight line, and there's a lot of peppered rocks in there, and you're safer to just jump over all of them than you are to try and do any turns near them. So a lot of hesitation. I think Jordan is just angrily skiing home at the moment, apparently yelling at the snow.
That's right, he did not want to be there.
No. There you go.
That was not the plan, and unfortunately it did end, yeah, quite early in his run. But, well, this is definitely how you like bring up experience and how your choices in the future are going to make a difference.
Exactly. I think you obviously appreciate the passion, and that is a heartbreaking moment. But in the end, they're necessary moments. No one goes from 0 to world champion in a straight line, and if you don't sort of have the knocks along the way, sometimes those are injuries, sometimes they're just bad performances, and those are the things you learn from that make you a stronger individual, that make it possible to come back And I know Jordan will be back. He is a seriously talented individual, but it isn't just about ski talent. There's more to come together with the tactics, the line choice, how to run a season, how to keep yourself in good enough shape, how to keep your mind in the right place. Jordan Ray is learning all that along the way.
That's right. What a bummer.
Thumbs down from the Gore athlete representing the UK, but one of the Verbier locals. We live and love him.
Oh yeah, what a shame. It's so much scored in a beer. But well, it's just so much work for those riders. So 16 points for Jordan. So much work for those riders to be like traveling, to be dedicating so much time to the comps. And sometimes you do get to one venue and 10 meters in you're off, and that's something that you need to deal with, something you gotta use for your future. Alex Williams in the game.
Back to the top for the next of Verbier's finest, and this guy's been making quite the stir locally and on Instagram as well. Just clearly one of the more talented freestyle athletes out there, and got a serious head for the mountains. Learning to paraglide this year as well. He's really starting to become the full package mountain athlete, and there he is, the left 360, as big as we've seen all day.
All right, and man, the takeoff was getting so peppery up there. He's really managed it the right way.
The sniper takeoff, not a sniper landing, that one. You've really got to find the narrow spot just between the rocks and get going. The first guy to really grab up the mute, tweaking the 360 mute.
All right, lovely. Already making a difference on that winning line that we've seen before, getting a lot of points to others. Yes, and he's finding a really nice
a bit of a
entrance
heavy
here.
snow releasing just behind him as he set off, but that's one of the craziest doubles of the day. And if Alex Williams stands this one up, this could be it, folks. That's going towards the top of the standings. I'd already mocked the French for showing the British how to ski, but Alex Williams, half Swiss, half British chap, comes back in to prove a point.
And a good point.
He proved it pretty well. That was impressive, man.
Wow, man, the speed in that double. I now know. I thought he was hesitating at the top of the first ones, and I was taking too much time for Alex to actually think. Alex didn't think that much or that long, and well, that was why.
Yeah.
Because that's not the only thing he had in mind. He really needed the speed and the proper angle.
Two of
Check
the
this
most
out.
stylish 360s of the day, but this double's where the points are going to be at. No one else has stepped to anything like that with this speed. That tree was on the foreline of the first landing. If he doesn't nail that right foot turn, he's going straight through a tree and then off a cliff. Gives us the Gore chest smack. This has got to challenge the top three, hasn't it? Yeah, there's a couple of those control errors in it, but in that level of exposure with what he's executing above it, I think you've got to let him get away with those, haven't you?
Could be just out of it, eh?
You reckon he's in fourth, fifth? Yeah, but you're French and you're biased. Come on. That's what's going on here. Come on, Alex Williams for the top.
That's the matter. I mean, as much as I love this one, it's just, it is a matter of comparison in the end.
It's as big and as perfect as the three off the top. Mute on the three that everybody else has got in the middle of the line. Yeah, is that not the craziest double you've seen today? I mean, maybe there's the error of the control on it, but like no one else has done a double on that scale of that speed.
That fast.
Yeah, just surely, judges.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be around the top, isn't it? It's got all the elements then, because it's got that double. It's one of the only runs that really, really shows that big mountain commitment, riding the exposure, taking a drop with a tree on your foreline where you need to get a turn done and then do another 10-meter drop. That combined with the 360s, with the grabs. I mean, I'm biased, obviously. He's a local legend, local hero, but I'm trying to make the point that I think that's got to be right up there.
One good question that's going to help the judges is also, would you put this line in a ski movie?
I mean, I'd make him go and do it again so he didn't backslap it, actually. But yes, in terms of the choice of it, absolutely. But if it had to be on film, but the 360 mute, probably that could be in there, you know, like just the craziness of it. But then I definitely would have put Oscar Mandan's line in a movie as well, and is he now all the way down
100%.
in third or fourth place? So, yeah.
That's true. Yeah, it's getting real tight at the top of the ranking.
Shout out Jake Muller. Jake.
I can hear Alex shouting out Jake Muller, another one of
Sending
the.
some love.
the legends with an injury problem at the moment. Hopefully he's on the move.
Oh yeah, and we all wish you a really good recovery, Jake. Can't wait to see you sending it very soon again. I'm sure you're gonna come back stronger than ever.
Oh, the judges once again. The pressure is on.
Man, it's just like the stakes are so high at the moment. Everything in the ski man category can still happen. We do not know who the 4 European riders who of the 4 European riders are going to get on the World Tour next year. And well, it is a 4th place for Alex Williams with 85 points.
Brutal on a line like that, but probably very accurate judging. Yeah, I mean, I'm biased and my heart's broken, but very, very well done from the judges. It's a difficult job out there today, taking their time when they need to, and always appreciate that from the commissioner. I've had a few contest directors who tend to scream at you when you're taking too long to judge, but that's exactly the moment you need your headspace and you need to be focused. We're back at the top with Paul D. Portales. He's one of my favourite guys to review. Just a big mountain skier through and through. He started adding those freestyle elements to his riding recently, but I really feel like he brings us back to the old school, brings us back to aggressive, steep riding, finding the biggest cliff in the dumbest place and getting it done when no one else would. That's Paul D. Portales down to a T.
Definitely from Le Grave, down in the Southern Alps, where freeride is king.
Legend, there's complete legend behind that resort, and deservedly so. Massive backflip, Paul with a bit of a flap with the arms, but in the end a complete stomp, and he's gone bigger on that than anyone has all day. He's heading out further, riders right, into the big steep gnar. The exposure, I told you this was going to be a scary big mountain line. Where's he going? Oh, he's made a mistake on the line though. The judges are going to hammer him for that push, I think, because he should have just skied straight to there, shouldn't he, if that's where he wanted to drop.
Oh yeah.
Which he needed to set up this double. Needed to be a little bit cross-caught on the first part of it to get into the bigger side of this. Oh, it's a small mistake in the grand scheme of it, but Paul...
Oh, right, but still, man, what a really crazy goat line. Check this out.
Another massive backflip, but he's over-rotated that one.
Slightly, and yeah, kind of handing sideways into the snow. But still, he has seen the line in a big mountain way.
Another small line error. He's going to try and backflip again.
Third one. Man, I mean, that's 2 very, very well put down backflips.
Yeah,
and one that slightly got
exactly
caught. Oof.
As I say, it's not the first thing I kind of associate with Paul is those freestyle elements. He's just the crazy, gnarly big mountain guy. The judge is going to hammer him for this as well. Now with the line choice, it's clearly not going to be in the top 5, is it? But what do we think? If they don't judge that bottom one at the moment, it definitely can be in the top 5. But is there a judging line? He has just fallen over in open field because he wasn't paying attention.
Is at the level of the flag. I believe that Paul should be fine.
So it's a fairly deliberate body slam for the banter, and Paul has got me once again because he's a funnier human being than I am. Good on him.
All right, check this out.
First backflip. There's that volley Rayner technique at the start of it.
Perfectly landed.
Yeah, he didn't need the arm flap, did he? He was going to land dead square. He still just kind of hasn't quite got the experience with him, so starts winding the windows down anyway. Here's where he's solid though. Love that technique in the open field. This is the one that went wrong for him. Over rotating, pulling the knees in. A little late to try and get them out of the way almost, and then the bottom one couldn't have been done much better. Best one on that bottom cliff for the day.
Oh yeah.
So will that be a top scoring line in the end? Because they're not going to judge that crash. There's just the one problem with fluidity where I think I know he got lost because he shouldn't have skied into that bit first.
Exactly, he could have got to the exact entrance that he wanted.
And he's explaining that now, I think, yeah. And,
oh yeah, do we have some sound?
Oh, the judges once again under the cosh.
Well,
under the pressure.
Mi dici Andrea qual è il problema? Impossibile scorrere. Andrea mi dici qual è il problema?
all right. It is so interesting to know to understand what this face really demands.
Ooh, so they have been particularly brutal on the hesitation. They're 73.33 in 10th place for Paul Di Portales, who on the representation of the rest of the line, the 3 backflips, it's just that hesitation they've having him on. Otherwise, I think he's right up there in the top 5.
And also, when you get so slow, yeah, you just lose points,
I mean,
1 per second.
If you ever have to go for a skate across the traverse in Freeride, then have you done it right? You know what I mean? Like, it's supposed to be skiing down the mountain, not like having a look over here for what you might want to jump off.
And if you need to use your poles.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That
and I think
does mean a lot.
Paul knows that. He'll be disappointed, but there it is. Noah Peserat could be one more to upset the top of the standings and give us even more French people in the top 10, because at the moment I think 80% of them are.
Very true, and he's out of his podium in Austria, full of confidence, full of style.
Lovely hop turns into the massive 360 and recovered nicely. Huge backslap, but just the style of those jump turns to set that up.
Man, the recovery was so fast. Like, no judges, you haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I got this. And now it's getting really chunky in between these two.
360.
Yeah, perfect
All right,
final transition on that one.
for a big
This
one
will
at
be
the bottom.
flat. There we go.
Oh, cool. That is exactly what I wanted to see a while ago from the other riders, and he's the first one to actually execute it this way. Keeping going, Noah Peserat.
Oh, wow, a late ollie as he almost caught up his downhill edge. And then turns it almost into the triple. So similar line to Alex Williams, executed very differently in the end. But Noah Peserat, similar line to the guy in 4th place right now. Maybe even cooler 360 at the top than Alex Williams did. Give Alex Williams half a point for the mute on the second 360, but whoa, this is going to be close. Judges will once again be scratching their heads, folks, and I'm not sure if you've made your cup of tea or put the kettle on yet, but now might be the time as they have a good think about this one, I reckon. Beautiful way he set that. The jump turns in that peppery, difficult snow at the top, then feet together, hand drag left 3, then the 360, perfectly executed there. Nearly hooked up the edge, ollies as strong as he can to find the transition, and wow, does he do well on the right foot to get round the tree and double through the next bit of it as well.
Fortunately, a little backslap at the very bottom out there. He must have been sent a tiny bit backwards during the double triple. But man, he knew exactly where he was going, because he knew he had the option of not gapping the bottom bit, but could put some of his skis in the middle, and well, it's a very, very good job out there from Noah. He's definitely going to climb up on the ranking.
Yeah, very, very well planned run, and I wonder if he did plan it with Alex Williams. I think less so with those two, whether they know it extremely well, but it seems like they both just had the similar concept for a line there, both executed pretty similarly, and now we've given the judges a real challenge to try and split 2 similar concepts for a run with similar control issues in it. Perhaps my bias is slightly leaning towards Alex Williams again with the mute on the 360, the cleaner execution through the double at the bottom, going faster and bigger out the second one.
All right, but you know what? I love the cleanliness and like the very closed skis in the air and kind of the Kiwi style that Noah's bringing.
Yeah, something about the way he set that first cliff up was really unique. Just the mountain sense to be able to control the speed with jump turns that close to the cliff, and then get into a really, really clean technique on the 360. Yeah, there was a bit more of a backslap on the exit of that, though, than there was for Alex Williams, wasn't there?
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, what?
78
And there's
points
so
for Noah.
few points in there in that place now that takes him all the way down to 8th place on what I thought had to be right next to Alex Williams if it was anywhere else.
Yeah, interesting. Well, we will keep going with Milton Holmqvist from Finland, and in Monterosa Freeride Paradise today.
Oh, the left flat 360 gets the Japan into it. Genuine flat spin on it as well. Beautifully done. First one of those of the day as well. That's normally a Freeride staple, isn't it? The old flat 3.
Very much, but we all love one.
Oh, a little bit of hesitation here that could have been avoided, I think, as well. I mean, very minor, but it's there. Oh my! Oh, tricky moment there, as he must have found something underneath the snow, I think, because his feet stopped immediately after the left 360. Gave us a small scary moment as he tumbled through the next lift band, but he gives us the universal wave of I'm fine and chases his ski as quick as he can. Milton Holmquist will waste no time getting off the face.
Oh, what a shame. Indeed, this landing looks like it did become quite tricky now, and it is a shame, especially since Milton's favorite trick is the triple cork.
Is it really? I'm going to have to look him up online now.
That's why he likes to claim, but we won't believe it until he's done it.
In a free ride contest as well.
Absolutely.
That'll never happen. I almost hope that never happens, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
That's not what free ride's about, and these guys can find innovative places to do hard tricks, but the hardness of the trick isn't kind of the point. It's the cliff you're doing it off, the exposure you're doing it in, and the way in which you do it in free ride. Whilst obviously the more impressive the rotation, the more impressive that is, but we don't need double or triple cork 1440s to have a good time.
That's right. Well, it's always nice to see some different rotations and some new angles on comps, and the judges do like it as well, because backflips and 360s, when they are getting used to it, they always like a bit of creativity.
Really excited to introduce this next young man. Hamish Henderson was the junior world champion, therefore offered a wild card to come straight up to the Challenger Series. By that point in his career, I'd heard an awful lot about him from Uncle Dion, as we call him, Dion Newport, one of the legends of the sport, one of the mentors for Hamish next in the gate. We're still waiting for the score for Milton Holmquist. Apparently 21st, but we didn't see what the score was. Hamish just has a hint of the Craig Murrays about him somehow. He came around to stay at my house shortly after the Junior World Championship. Super humble, super lovely young man, but you can see a desire and a drive in him that seems a little different to the average individual. Very young guy, already got a very deep trick bag. Was asking me the question whether he thinks it's correct in the free ride. There's he goes, left 360 and just about wheelies out of it. Struggles onto that one for a long time. But I know Hamish has got left and right 360s, which he can't really benefit from in the free ride criteria. At least it's not written into the criteria. The judges can have the option to give it to you. And therefore you get people like Stefan Heusel teaching their athletes not to bother learning to spin the other way. What would be the point? But Hamish can spin left and right. He's done 2 left 3s so far. Will he take on this double? No more spinning to be done on the exit of this one. He's going to boost it, speed out the back of there, and the conditions getting really hard. Hamish doing really well to stop in the sludgy snow before the third cliff band came to him. That one's going to be altogether too loose to challenge the top of the standings.
No, it does, but oh man, what a run.
Has he broken his pole? Something seemed to be separate from his equipment and in his hand. There we are, boosting off to the finish line. Hamish Henderson, always happy to be in good health after any solid free ride run. Not the result he'll be looking for from that one. The junior world champion will definitely be back. We've got a few more years of watching him on the Challenger Series, I think.
Absolutely, we'll be patient enough. It's so impressive to have a kid from Broken River in New Zealand. You know, the club field where you go up the mountain with tractors that are dragging cables. And the fact that you're able to do this kind of performance in the Alps is just astonishing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to quantify what the difference in environment is between the club fields in New Zealand and what we're dealing with massive alpine environments here. It just continues to blow my mind, just the density of quality skiers, of brilliant young people that come from those club fields and from New Zealand generally. Again, very small population. Not that much in the way of mountains, but or a lot of mountains, but not that much in the way of ski resorts, and they still keep producing some of the best riders in the world.
That's so true. Oh, well, I can see a little yellow jacket and a Red Bull helmet out there in the start gate. Are we ready for Maxime Chablot?
I feel if any rider of the day needed a drum roll before he leaves this gate, it's Maxime Chablot. Spent plenty of years on the World Tour, is a former freeride world champion.
He's second at the moment.
Second right
so
now.
definitely aiming to get back on the World Tour after a year of down spiral. He is back. He did win in Nanda at the Challenger 3 weeks ago, and well, that's exactly what he's got planned for today.
And never been one to rest on his laurels. Just really admire the mindset of Maxime Charblot, always pushing his limit, going massive on the backflip. He's expanding his repertoire all the time. Known so much for the freestyle elements and chucking 720s on places they shouldn't be done, but he's getting better and better at extremely big mountain line choices.
Very much. Maxime skiing is always so intelligent. I love that he knows where he is at all times in the face. Beautiful 360. Already he is almost spreading his leg a little bit too much on the landing, trying to keep in control.
You notice the flare of the legs in the air as well. He knows he put too much energy in on the takeoff. He's rotating too fast. He widens the legs up to slow down, gets into the double again, and he'll 360 out of the bottom of it, which no one has pulled off so far. And it's almost the same line as Alex Williams in 4th place, but adding the 360 on the exit of it.
Maxime Charblot making the difference on this line, that's for sure.
You can see the quality of experience he's got behind him, eh? Just so many years at the top of the game now. Really understood how to design a line for each situation tactically. Never get too much of a smile out of him, but today he is just smirking a little bit as if he knows that's a good one.
I think he does.
Right, perfect stomp on the first one. Perfect, well, not perfect on the 360 stomp, was he? Just a bit funny over that left foot indeed. But then to have found the 360 out of this double, one of the more impressive moments of the day for me. Whether the entire line stacks up as impressively as our top 3, but certainly that exit on the double does. Got to be in the top 5, is it?
I reckon. Oh well. I mean, yeah, that was so fluid, that was so fast. Yeah, Maxime Charblot just flashing down the face. And apart from this landing of the 3, nothing he could have done better. The line choice was really his. The backflip he sends at the beginning makes the difference as well. Very strategic.
Yeah.
Riding.
And it's the same line as it as Noah Monier's got the bigger cliff at the top in 3rd place, it has to be said. And Charblot with a beautiful backflip, but I don't think there's as much consequence in that rider's right cliff. So maybe that's the element that just keeps him behind Noah Monnier. But that 360 out of the double at the bottom, just in terms of my overall feel of how difficult that has to be to have shut the speed down on the right foot, keep the traverse going, find the point of takeoff you want it to, and still commit to the 3, being off balance from the jump before. There's an awful lot going on there for Maxime Charblot.
Non, pas moi, mes potes.
Sponsored by Silver Planet, the FIS World Cup slopestyle halfpipe ski and snowboard finals coming up there this weekend. And listen in on FIS TV.
Are you going to be commentating it, Will?
I am. I think also the ski commentators might be, his wife might give birth during the skiing, so I might be commentating everything this weekend. I hope not. I'm supposed to just commentate the snowboarding. But I'd also kind of hope that Gareth's wife has a beautiful baby any day now. We're all really excited for that. So that is happening.
Very exciting, Will would be.
Still waiting for a score for Maxime Charblot.
L'entrée pour aller à la lip là. En regardant avant, je me demandais pourquoi tout le monde va aussi lentement, et puis je suis arrivé là, j'étais ah ok.
Il n'y a pas de neige. Hein.
Mais après j'ai complètement foiré le pop sur le toit.
L'atterrissage il est en débert, glacé.
Into 3rd place, then Maxime Charblot squeaks in on 86 and upsets Noah Monnier that we thought was on a similar line. Slightly bigger cliff at the top, but I think I agree with the judges on this one. The difficulty of 316 out of the double puts Maxime Charblot onto the podium and makes him look all the more likely to be back on the Freeride World Tour next year.
Well, and the podium is getting more and more settled in because there's only 3 more riders to come. Edwin Holson is one of them.
And he just has a hint of the Reini Barkrits about him, Edwin Olsen. So solid with the riding. Here's a massive backflip, but look at the technique in between. The feet locked together, completely stacked all the time. Doesn't look like he's putting in any effort at all, and yet he's changing direction at 50 mile an hour
I agree.
in cruddy snow.
It's like he just moves his balance, and then his skis just do the rest.
Yeah, it's literally actively doing nothing, isn't he? And somehow controlling perfectly all the way down the face here. 360, backflip into 360. Different line, different approach.
All right, and he's getting above the double.
Very different approach, but again, the 360 out, which we've just seen, will add up on the score because Maxime Charbot is on the podium with a very similar exit concept to that. Is the backflip in the 360. I suppose Chablo has got one more air and style element in there with the, he's got
Exactly,
backflip,
but
360,
not
360.
one mistake right now.
Yeah, Edwin
Have you-
is so clean, and yeah, of course, Maxime did just have the hand in the snow behind him on the second three.
Very, very clean riding from Edwin Olsen.
Is he third or fourth place here? Can he be challenging first and second? I don't know. Look how solid he is. Unbelievable. Absolutely perfect throughout every one of those.
Wow.
Hint of the old school mogul technique about the takeoffs, but then everything is free ride in between.
That's amazing. And indeed, you know what? I feel like wherever Edwin is looking, that's where he goes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Simple as that.
God!
He's into first place. It's a 91. Edwin also with the cleanest line of the day, the 360 out of the bottom. And he will take the lead with just 2 riders left to go. Wow, they're some of the best riders in the game right now. But Edwin Olsen takes the hot seat.
Incredible. Anything can happen up to the very end of this category. This is incredible. And indeed, not one mistake pays. This is exactly what we want to see, what the judges want to see. That's a movie line.
That was a movie line, and execute to that standard as well. Before when you asked me that question, it's like, yeah, but I'd have to make 1 or 2 of them go and do it again. Not Edwin Olsen. That's how it should be done. Back to the top with Alex Hackel, X Games real street winner. Just to prove that he has got one of the deepest repertoires of skills in all of skiing, now competing in big mountain, having been one of the biggest names in freestyle and street skiing for such a long time. Hugely nice guy as well, representing the USA, half Swedish, half American, currently residing in Europe for the most part. And finding the chunky snow underneath him. Left 360 off the big one. A little bit too far forward on the landing, though, over the front of it, and seems to have taken a knee to the chin. That one won't have tickled. And a fun fact for Alex Hackel, as he's owner and founder of the ski company for the skis he's riding on there, 1,000 skis. Just starting to expand and make themselves a freestyle ski, free ride ski, and indeed a piece ski now.
That's
Worth
amazing.
checking out.
If you can be your own sponsor, then
Yeah, I think he's a really intelligent guy. Follow his YouTube channel where he breaks down the sport really nicely and just gives you videos on the basics well explained. But if you just follow what he's been up to in business in the background, then yeah, Alex Hackel is as impressive in every other way as he is on a pair of skis. And here we are.
check this out.
Yeah. Oh, where's he going, Alex?
Riding the rocks.
What is going on? And then the left 360 out of that. Oh, he has to worm turn out at the end of that one, but Alex Hackel with a seriously ambitious concept. Perhaps had to question just the fluidity at the top of the line anyway in getting there, but once he got into the meat of it, no one had thought about that little double sniper takeoff in between, doubling into the 360, the quick change of direction in between.
Absolutely, the reactivity. I'm not even sure he had planned this.
Wow.
And then suddenly he finds himself onto a feature that he knows could do, because he's seen it on the binoculars yesterday. And then, yeah, just executing it in a way that his body naturally wanted to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of heartbroken to see it. He's still in the top 4 for the brief moment. Is he for the Freeride World Tour? He's close enough, but...
He's 6th. He
Sixth
was
now.
6th before this run.
Okay, well, that one's not going to help it. I'm starting to get excited that we might see him at the top end of the sport any day now. Maybe he needs another year at this. I hope he's willing to put it in, because he does have the skills for it. I feel like he's on the trajectory. He's starting to work this free ride stuff out. He's got all the skills for it. It's just about reading those lines, and this is a great example of his creative mind being applied in a new sport here and coming up with things that no one else saw. Whoa!
The rock rider
I think if I just had that experience, I wouldn't think about turning right and turning left and getting into a 360.
No, exactly.
It's just like, whew, that was a lot. That was a lot.
Yeah, you'd go for an Aperol Spritz after this.
Yeah.
And no.
Calm down.
I mean, might as well get a 360 on the way. Well, our last rider of the ski man, the only thing that can make a change at the bottom in that hot seat is Simon Fieberbrunn.
And wasting no time getting out of the gate. And the man who's on the steepest trajectory of anyone at the moment
Beautiful
goes.
flat out there at the
Oh
top.
no! Ooh, a flat 360, and that can be a worrying one there as the ski rotated across him before it then dug
Exactly.
into the snow, and like, yeah, I'm sort of worried for the knees, but the binding has done its job, and Simon Fieberbrunn will give us a big wave. But that is not the performance we were hoping for from the...
What a shame. If Simon was first today, he was qualifying for the World Tour no matter what. And well, this chance has just been dumped, but that's all right. We've got one more chance next week at Lussau's last Challenger of the season.
I believe his chances of still ending up in the top 4 are fairly high anyway, but he was the only person in the men's field who could have punched his World Tour ticket today with a win. Very outside chance. He's clearly going for that with a massive flat 3 at the top, but not executed. Something in the landing, because to be honest, he seemed to land just a tiny bit behind the center of balance, and then just the choppy snow you can see there, causing his skis to rotate and stop in front of him, and then it was a pretty aggressive crash in the end.
That's right. Knowing that Simon should be in school right now. Well, so our apologies to his schoolmates. They're probably watching, hiding from the teacher.
Probably only let him out because he was going to win, though, didn't he? He's going to go back to class and explain this now. Do his homework.
Exactly.
A nightmare.
Going back to over Google soon enough to catch up with some lessons, and then he will be back next week to challenge all of the Frenchies that are at the top of the podium today.
Giving us a clinic on 1-foot skiing, trying to get off the face here. I don't know what happened to his other ski, whether it carried on down or he's just left it for a ski ninja to bring to him. Seems to be looking down the mountain as if it expects it to be below him, but I didn't see it carry on down. Of course, most people would be unable to ski down there on 2 skis, so Simon doing it on 1 was pretty impressive. Let's confirm that podium, though. We're there with Edwin Olsen, today's winner, on 91 points. The only man to break the 90s ahead of Arnold Raymond. 87.67 beats Nemo Plan on 86.67. All French affair was upset by the Swede late in the day with the cleanest line of the day. 360 out of the double, clearly the one to impress the judges. Bumped Maxime Charblot, previous world champion, off the podium and down to 4th place. There's an awful lot of French flags in the top 10, though, folks. Holy moly.
Very, very well. Well, honestly, what an incredible spectacle today. I feel like the riders have been so happy to actually be riding POW.
Yeah,
if we can call it so.
Almost been a bit niche of an experience this season, hasn't it? Especially within the competition world. Huge respect for our colleagues at the Freeride World Tour who have managed to pull off this many competitions. They have got 5 out of 6 done, and this particular season is really impressive. And here we happen to have fallen with some of the best conditions we've seen in years in Monterosa. And yeah, a little bit thin on the sunnier parts of the face, getting a little bit heavier towards the afternoon. But it's been great so far, and we're about ready to get going with the ski women.
Exactly, and on the starting list, we're going to start things up with Elisabeth Marina, Eva Batola, Mila Delerue, Kelly Berton, and man, I cannot wait to see all those women fighting. There's still so many chances for all of them to get on the World Tour next year. There's only 2 spots here on the European side and 2 spots on the Americas for the women to climb up for the 2027 Freeride World Tour.
It is an extremely brutal cut, whichever way you look at it, but we're feeling pretty great at the moment because Eva Batola, our neighbour, is in the top spot, going into the 5th out of 6 challengers for the year. Little bit of a uniquity in that we drop 2 of the results if we make it to 6 competitions. We'll only drop the 1 result if this is the last one of the season. So best 4 out of 5 counts as it stands now. Hopefully we get to best 5 out of 6, and it's really 4 landed scoring runs that get these women into the World Tour. My top picks for today, of course, you can't overlook Mila Delarue. Podiums galore, one of the most talented to ever do it, and really starting to push on with the freestyle elements as well as Eva Bertola, who's been sending those flat spins, the current leader. Yet to land her first double backflip, but she's been pushing them in various other contests around the country, Eva Bertola. Ellie Olsen, whose brother has just put it on the top step of the podium, is always one to look out for, but Mia McNabb is maybe my second or third favourite behind Ava and Mila for today. Zana Farrell, always enjoy to watch because she brings that racing technique, that power in the legs, and is starting to apply that to really aggressive big mountain skiing, which is a classic way to do it. We'll get started with...
Vamos, Elizabeth Marina de Catalunya. All right, and she starts off with a really nice pop. She is ready to give it all, and she's been...
Whoa, it's a statement out the start again. It's a shame the ski has ejected. Just waiting for Elsebet to recover her ski.
All right, well, what a shame. Elizabeth has been proving her level, especially very recently on the last few comps. Getting on the podium in Austria, and she's been sending so many tricks, backflipping and 360ing all over the place, all over the Alps, and unfortunately losing one ski up here is making it a bit more hard for her to convince the judges, that's for sure.
And the judges getting a score out really quickly before she's in the finish area there, I think conscious of the temperatures rising, and the sun affecting the snow, trying to get the last 9 women through this contest as quick as we can.
Exactly, we are getting closer to midday, and the sun is definitely affecting the face. We have a northeast facing, and the sun's been hitting on it since 7 a.m. this morning. And well, it was powder because we've just had 30 centimeters of fresh snow last Sunday, which made conditions really incredible. The stability is really good as well, which is something that we're looking forward to have here in the Alps. And riders have been able to train on this type of snow in the last few days. Unfortunately, having so much sun is definitely making the snow humid and sticky, and that's something that the riders are going to feel right now.
Yeah, I think especially tricky with the ski women going last. They are randomly selecting which category goes in which order, but the lighter athletes with the smaller surface area skis going to struggle more and more than in the heavier snow.
That's right. Elizabeth Marina has a full-time engineering job, and she still manages to come up for those comps. She travels from Spain all the time just because she is so motivated. And well, I mean, if that's the case, she could very, very much make it as a pro skier at some point. Eva Bertola is actually first on the ranking, and all she needs today is a very, very battle run.
Such a solid skier, but just never rests on her laurels. See her in Verbier, always with a smile on her face, always going hard. Out there every day, rain or shine.
I like the Edvin Olsen style where Eva just looks somewhere and then all of her body
just flows to it, yeah.
Exactly.
It's beautiful, huh?
This is such a proof of strength. Okay, Eva is... Yeah, she wants to get into some serious stuff out there, and she's finding an entrance. She's looking at the little... There's only one line in front of her, and she's going to take it. Yoo-hoo!
So beautiful. I was just saying we maybe shouldn't be such good friends with the people we commentate on, as my heart races for Eva Bertola. So scared as she lines up above massive features, but that is the stock that she lives off.
Absolutely. Eva just loves jumping big things. All right, she's bouncing over the snow, almost like getting pushed forward, which we don't want. We know the snow is going to get tricky. It's going to be letting people front punch very easily, but you need to know this and prepare for it. All right, Eva's going to send her a third cliff out there. Man, the snow looks tricky.
Yeah, I mean, tricky to find the line, tricky to control the conditions, especially through that slough. You can see it all balled up. And
Absolutely, and Eva's usually a very, very fast rider. Her transitions are slower than usual today. That makes me think. Like, yeah, it's probably getting really technical out there. All right, and she is jumping pretty much. I think she's got on her way to the bottom. That is a very, very cool line.
yeah, it's a beautiful line. I just wonder if the fluidity might be docked ever so slightly, but as you say, that's just an element of good skiing in those situations where there's lots of peppers around, the snow's getting heavier. To maintain control of the speed throughout, definitely has some of the biggest features that I could ever expect to see in this field. Doesn't look too unhappy with it. Expect a reasonably high score out of that for now. No control issue, clean throughout. Just the fluidity. The air and style's pretty massive, even without the trick. She's going massive on two huge cliffs in the middle, and probably has about 7 airs in total, is it?
Absolutely, and she's been playing. Yeah, she was going the hardcore way. There's definitely an easier route, many easier route. Whoa, and she's handled this one really well as well.
Do we know if it's possible for Ava to punch a ticket to the World Tour today?
Only if...
If she wins, she is in first place
No,
for
no, no.
75.
Only if the scenarios are so complicated. If she wins and
then
if
they
many
all
things
become fifth.
happen. Yeah, exactly.
The other 6 people need to come 5th, which is statistically impossible in a field of 10. So perhaps
Exactly.
Ava's got work to do next week.
Absolutely, yeah, she's not done. I mean, everything depends on today. And the judges have put her at 75, which means they've left a lot of room before her and after her. Check out the style! Mila just shifting out of this first, the second cliff out there. Also, she is skiing quite low on her legs, which really enables her to like adapt to the terrain. She's always ready, and whatever she'll find on her way, she'll just go for it.
Yeah, and she's doing a great job of it at the moment.
And what she's finding on her way is pretty massive. Check out this elephant.
Well, as we said with Paul Portales earlier, that having to pole back to the line you want it to be on. Very, very short hesitation in the end, but the judges will notice it.
Yeah, that was more than an hesitation. That was backing up.
Yeah.
Actually, they'll definitely, notice this. Check this out.
That was beautiful, though.
It's
Come
like
on, Mila.
slaloming, but there's no doors. There's just rocks, and Mila is like, she's a painter too.
Is she going to backflip them?
Michelangelo.
She's lining up a slightly different approach to the Oscar Mandan cliff, as we might call it, but a beautiful finish for Mila Delarue, and that one is going to have to challenge Eva Bertolo at the top of the standings, is it? With the double and the speed through it. Felt it was a hint more fluid throughout.
Absolutely. She did take it on the left side just in order to make it slightly tinier. She probably is doing this because she wants to adapt to the snow. She might think it was going to be too sticky of a landing, but she was definitely able to take it from the top.
She deserves a bit of luck, having, I thought, put a winning run down in Nondar before a snow snake robbed her of the chance to go to the top of the podium. So give this one to Mila Delarue. We turn to the judges. We wait in anticipation. Will she be hammered for that bit of hesitation there? That's the only thing.
Only thing. There was no mistake in her skiing, only in the line.
Without that, I might clearly have it above Eva Bertolo, would I? But that hesitation is there. It's going to have to be scored. What are they going to do with it?
We've got a happy Mila here. All right, I'm
first place, 81, 6, 7, and 6.5 points clear of Eva Bertolo in first place at the moment. Great day out for the Delarues. Let's go. Really, really happy for her.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, she's looking like she wants to settle in this hot seat out there.
Looks like a comfortable afternoon in the Orage hot seat for Mila. Maybe not that comfortable as Kelly Berton gets herself ready to go in the start gate. The chair's comfortable, but the situation definitely isn't for Mila Delarue.
All right, Val Thorens rider finding some really nice powdery landing. And going for his second one. And she's finding, again, a virgin landing. She knows what she needs to find today.
Fast and aggressive at it. Strong on the technique in between here as well.
From Thorens. Ooh! Did Kelly just slow down before this kicker? This feature?
Yeah, now I start to question
Oh.
that snow is
Actually,
clearly heavier and
yeah,
hard work in the middle,
you're
isn't
right.
it? Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
And for that specific problem, you really need to ski with narrow feet to try and get as much float, get his weight as evenly distributed as possible. And maybe Kelly's just a bit wide and the weight coming over that inside foot.
I think she's been adapting to the conditions really, really well right now, because she was going to go and try to go over some like more bigger rocks, but in the end, this nice turn was making, using the snow in her favor instead of against it. And she's going for the double as well.
Nice.
Yes, good job, Kelly.
Minor hesitation to the top of it and then straight line on that 4 line. Speed out of there. And now over to the rider's right.
Ready to play for some more. And the snow is becoming much nicer again.
Whoop. Little bit of grass skiing, and then onto the same exit cliff as Mila Delarue has just taken. In fact, ending
Ooh,
up on
from
the
the
jump
top.
of Oscar Mandan and clipping some rocks. Whoa.
Oh, what a shame. Kelly Bertrand leaving one ski on the way.
She looks to be okay, having tried to reach for the other ski, which has disappeared down the mountain.
Yeah, man, check out this landing. The snow looks so heavy.
Yeah, and I think
It's coming apart.
perhaps just a small error in line choice as well. Yeah, the snow's really heavy at the bottom here, but if Kelly's ended up landing on rocks before she got to the heavy snow anyway,
She was going front punch.
and just proves the quality of Mila Delarue's line selection,
That's right.
finding the way to take that at a slightly lower speed and find a transition.
That's true, because if you do take it from the very top, then you might need to clear
Yeah,
much more rock.
she needed to boost another 4 or 5 miles an hour is probably all she needed. She's just clipped the rocks at the bottom of that one. It's caused the front punch that's ended the run, really. And the score will be between 0 and 1. The current last place for Kelly Bertrand.
What a shame. The riding up there was so good.
Great concept for a line. You've seen Mila Delarue just put herself in first place with that one. Just a couple of line errors that really came to be consequential in the end.
Valley d'Aosta, who's receiving us here in the heart of Monterosa Paradise. If you guys get the chance to start your day from Champoluc, from Alanya or Gressoney, and it's the same pass for everything, then you should really use it. Okay, Léa Chapuis, yes, is sending it. She's going pretty fast from drop 1 to drop 2.
Nice transition finding on the first 2 features. And the 2 successful ladies so far.
GS turns.
Yeah, beautiful skiing. The 2 top ladies using this same line, so it's a good option.
Exactly, finding a nice landing as well, and she is looking like she wants to play here as well. All right, but she's
Nice.
choosing fluidity. She is choosing just to keep shredding rather than go and hit features that are gonna get in her way and have her lose her fluidity. All right.
Oh, a bit of a backslap out of that double, but it's the most 4-line and aggressive we've seen it taken so far.
Absolutely, she might go for the bottom one that Mila took, and she would need this to actually make the difference. All right, straight pointed out.
That's 3 or 4 of the top ladies on a similar line choice so far, and it's as good an execution as we've seen from Léa Chapuis. And that's got to be right in the question around about Mila Delarue and Eva Batola in the top 3 for now.
Oh yeah, what do you think, Mila? Léa?
I think I've still got Mila Delarue in first just for the... Oh, but then there's that moment she shuffles backwards on the cliff, which
That's right.
we really don't see from Léa Chapuis. Is super fluid, so... But then there's the backslip from Léa on the exit of that double. I think Mila maybe went a hint bigger on most of the airs.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I know you're paying
Tricky
me to
decision.
know, but I don't know. This is really hard.
That's true, the back flap actually. So no, you're right.
Yeah.
There is one mistake.
Just
on each
something
side.
about the overall impression, the emotion I had at the end. Yeah, there we go. That is just where I had that. I had Milo Delarue. Something about the feel of it, the speed of it, the aggression, the size of those airs, that control error, the judges deciding to be at least equal to the hesitation from Milo Delarue, and the standings for now. Milo Delarue first place. We got Leah Chapuis in second, and Ava Patola in third.
Exactly, and we have Norway in the gate with Vilde Fieberbrunn. And yeah, man, after 10 years, Vilde's been skiing so well everywhere, all over the world, and now in Monterosa. She usually has really strong legs, and she's probably gonna need it with the corn snow today. All right, 2 nice pops at the very start of this venue.
Where's she heading to now then? First of the ladies in a while to head over to the Traverse, is it? We've seen a lot of them go straight on that 4 line out of the gate. It's
That's true.
Interested to see what line concepts we have over here.
I feel like there was a strategy, and the snow is going to be different on both aspects. Unfortunately, the tracks on this side, just below Vilde, might make her struggle unless she just straight line it.
Got to do the Tiffany Periton and go straight through it. That's the way it's done.
That's the way, Vilde.
Little back slap, but she runs out of power in the legs and the heavy stuff on the exit, but no hesitation, and goes bigger than anyone off that cliff.
What a great jump, and she is finding good snow. Check this out. The snow looks much more light.
Yeah, it's actually way better
Than
over
on
on
the
the
other
side of his
side.
face, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. Oh,
With a nice
no!
50. Oh, that's unfortunately putting her.
No, the snow snake.
Yeah.
That line did not deserve it either.
Catching
That's unfortunate
her
for
ski.
sure. She's fine, but just deserved to get that run completed. To be honest, there was so much quality at the top of it. What's been a big day. We've only got 4 athletes left to go. Vilde Fieberbrunn unable to get a full clean run together here.
What a great area out there.
Yeah, but she had
Unfortunately.
probably 3 great airs, and I loved the approach through where we'd been questioning hesitation from a lot of riders on this far looker's right line. That was absolutely not the case from Vilde, just full bore, no hesitation, hardly any turning between feet, she's just heading straight at everything.
Literally.
The only turn in the run was that Traverse. Had to do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Otherwise, she
I'm surprised. I wonder what's going on in the ladies' head. Have they not seen any backflipping little spot today? I mean, the ones that were available were pretty big, and the snow might not allow for this.
Yeah, and I wonder if quite a few of them are now looking at sort of line B or choice B, maybe just winding it back because they know the snow's got a little heavier as the day's gone on. They've seen the amount of bomb holes and the amount of problems the men's ski field had. I think an awful lot of these really were sniper landings without there being rocks that you needed to dodge. Just the width and length of the transitions were actually really small. And we've seen that a lot today because of the snow conditions. If you're just a tiny bit short and landing in any way flat, then the front punch is immediate and it's aggressive.
That's right. You really need to take care of this. Hopefully the coaches and the ladies have been able to access this type of information, because from where they are, they cannot see all of the venue from the start gate. There's a roller that makes you only able to see the first part. But usually by the speed that the riders come out at the bottom, that give them a really good hint of if the snow is fast or kind of
Yeah, there's a few people trying to straight line
Holding.
to the finish line, but there's certainly no turns at the bottom there because legs are clearly tired from fighting the heavy snow higher up.
All right, Ellie Olsen on course.
Could we see an Olsen clean sweep today? Ellie into the first cliff, a nice execution, lovely line on it, good speed, solid landing.
Very cool. Ellie is creating her own baggy pants, so if you like her style, go check her out. Okay, cool. She is choosing to stay into the center part and might be getting towards some more intense zone just below her.
Solid skiing. If she can get through this section without hesitation, which looks to be the case, yes.
Absolutely, she is definitely into the heavier snow part.
How would you possibly judge a line off this one? There's no reference point anywhere on the top of that cliff except
no
maybe
lady.
this corner. Here we go.
Very nice. I don't think we've seen any lady pointing it out right here. And she's found some good snow. Her turns are absolutely perfect.
Just wondering if I feel like she's traversed a fairway, needs to find something big to make the travelling worth it now. Another couple of small airs at the bottom to be found. Just the one big hit so far from Ellie Olsen, really.
Indeed, Will, she might need one little thing to make the difference, really.
But this is some sweet skiing, boosting out the bottom now.
Oh, yeah. And off she goes.
Good fun. It's around the top 5. I'm struggling to see that does that beat Eva Batola? Where's your gut leading you to, Elise?
I mean, very nice skiing. Very nice skiing.
It's about the line choice for me.
Fluidity,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But then Eva was, and also Eva was first to come down, and she had to adapt to the snow. She had no idea, and none of the women had. So she was still making choices as she was coming down. But check this out. This is
Yeah, it's beautiful skiing.
beautiful skiing.
I think, yeah, Ellie doesn't hesitate anywhere. It's just that the line choice makes it feel like a slightly longer, slower run.
Exactly.
And she did traverse a little way, and then she does find some good cliffs. But it does keep just below Eva Batola for now, 69.33, and Ellie Olsen's into 4th place.
Alrighty. I wish we kind of had like a wider angle from the camera, because at some point, when you don't know if the rider is above exposure, but they are.
Doesn't give you the kind of the real feel of how scary that is.
Exactly. But there's no scariness for Mia McNabb. All right, coming out with style. Mia's built up some confidence in Austria as well, with some beautiful riding, and she's definitely on the list of the pretendants for the Freeride World Tour next year.
Lovely skiing technique all round. Looks like she'd be perfectly at home on that World Tour. And chasing
Absolutely.
Eva Batola close behind for that top spot at the moment, right?
Very much. Well, there's only going to be 2 women getting on it. Check this out, uncovering all of the rocks.
Oh,
Boom, and she is still finding a really nice air at the bottom. That was really smart.
felt for sure she would hook an edge up there and have some sort of problem, but able to stay light on her feet, find the line she wanted off the cliff. There's that edge hookup that I'm talking about there. We really are running out of snow in between that particular double. She does extremely well to control it.
Absolutely.
And then...
Yeah, I wonder, that's not even a mistake. That's like adapting, sliding.
Yeah, as we were saying that earlier, if the rock's there, what else can you do? I
Exactly.
suppose jump over
All
it. is
right,
what the
no
judges-
stop, Mia. Yeah, you go.
Boom, there's the speed.
Perfect. A little bit more hesitation than Mila. Actually, no, we look at it. But yeah, what a line.
Yeah, and I wonder, I guess I still have it just behind Mila, but that can be threatening Eva Batola as well on a similar line to the top spot, perhaps just slightly less fluid, slightly, I'd give Mila a hint of better technique throughout the centre there, and Mila, while she did have the hesitation on top, she never actually hooked up on any rocks or made any errors. It's a small one from Mia, but we do see this little landing on a rock at one point in the run.
Very well managed.
Même si je sais que t'as envie de...
Pressure back on the judges then. The questions around the top 3. Will she take Eva Batola, the current season standings leader, out of 3rd place?
Chicks hanging out there. Hello. All right. Will they invite Mia in their gang? Could very much be. Mia is part of the Free Ski Academy training with the big team, with Lizark. And although she's from Sham, but man, yeah, she's been actually training really hard. It's so nice to see her being able to come down and run like this. She also love tricks, but today was definitely more of a big mountain venue, and I feel like all of the ladies have felt this. They could have been and go playful on the right lookers side of the venue, but like more of the snowboarders did this morning. And the snow we've just seen is actually really good still on this side.
So first of all, admire them for going for those big mountain lines, but it's worth mentioning, if this was just you taking a day out, and third place 76.33, and Mia McNabb does displace Ava Patola on the podium for now. Yeah, just to finish that comment, I think if this was a free day and you were just looking to go do some freestyle tricks on this face, probably wouldn't leave it till this time of day, at this time of year. Just knowing what the snow conditions were going to do, especially after this many riders have been through it. It's getting choppy out there now.
Let's go. Vamos con María Castelvivono. Saluditos a los abuelos especialmente. And she is going for it. Absolutely. Her grandparents must be proud. And she loves them, so she's riding for them today.
The fourth language I've heard Elise Booth speak fluently today, folks. Unbelievable. Beautiful riding so far then. Finding two good options. A lot of the ladies using a similar line at the top there. Maria wasting no time between them and needs to keep the speed up now. Oh, and then a little error over the inside foot.
Man, the snow looks absolutely terrible in that zone.
What
And she's
snow?
coming back up.
The rocks don't even look good.
Pointing her tips towards where she wants to go. Maria's built up so much legs. Check this out. A beautiful drop out there, and she's coming for more. She's been training in Verbier all season. She knows what it takes to actually be at the level that she wants to be at.
Now we're seeing that aggressive riding that people have been discussing all season. You hear the rumours that there's something special about this young lady. Some seriously solid skiing and a great line choice. Just the one small error.
Absolutely, and she is, barely turning on the bottom of the space. Wow. Well. Maria is definitely on for some top ranking at the moment.
Yeah, another one that's going to be right around that Ava Patola ranking, I think. Maybe that error, it's so small, but she does slip over on the inside foot. Relatively easy place, just finding a little rock shark. The judges might be really harsh on that. So hard, this could be third, could be sixth. See how hard they punish that error.
That's true. Really strong jumps out there at the top. That's where the good snow is still.
Yeah, lovely execution, mostly extremely solid. 4-point landing, strong in the legs to stand it up when she's not. There's a lot of quality airs in there.
Indeed, Maria's staying so compact.
I say, I only had the one question of fluidity higher up on the face. After that, it was full speed to the bottom.
And she is coming up.
Goes into first place with 90 points.
With 90 points.
Wow, no error counted at all then for that little slip over on the inside foot. The judges ignoring that one, deciding that this one had enough aggression, enough speed, and absolutely had the most airs of the day, and some of them the biggest. So Maria.
Also, the fluidity and the amount of time that she spent between start gate and finish gate was probably some of the lowest. Jennifer, known but not least, let's go. Us trailing in the game. This is the last rider of the day, and she's boosting out.
Incredibly strong skill. Look at the racing pedigree. Giant slalom turns in between features, and she's going to be one of the only ladies to go out here to the far rider's right side of the face.
Indeed she is. We have not seen anybody go here in a long time. Let's see what the snow looks like. It does look quite sticky.
That's it. Well, my initial prediction was that this side of the face would get heavier earlier. Seems to have hung on better than I thought. Most exposed zone we've seen any of the ladies in from Zana Farrell. This is massive. Yes, and a perfect reception.
Huge air out there, and she's holding onto her skis. She is above, indeed, all of the exposure. This is no full zone, and Xana's just smashing it.
Look at the speed and the quality in those turns. I told you about the ski racing pedigree. If she lands these two, this has got to be challenging. Castelvi Bono at the top as well. Keep it together, Zana Farrell. What a run. What a finish to the women's category.
Oh my God. Will, this could be a game changer of the podium today. I am so impressed.
So good when the last two riders of the day in a free ride contest, you might have thought it would be all chopped up and the conditions were bad, but those are two of the best runs of the day. Maria Castelvi-Bono, Zana Fowle staking a claim towards the top of the podium there. New line from Zana Fowle. For my money, we just said the shortest time from top to bottom might be something that just influences the emotions of the judges. The fluidity was maxed out. The technique was beautiful.
Very much. Check this out. That was the second drop, and then she is getting in the zone, and she's so confident. Facing, with her shoulders facing down. That's some of the biggest hits.
It's some of the most exposed and gnarly skiing in the category for sure. And there's a tiny error. But
that's the only no full zone that we've seen in the category.
Yeah,
I believe.
Maybe I shouldn't say it till the score comes out, but if I was judging, I think I've got Zana Fowle just pipping Maria Castelvi-Bono for the first place at the very end of the day here.
Indeed, high chances.
There it goes, 91.33 and Zana Fowle.
Let's go, free ride, and indeed, I mean, the mountains does not care about ranking. It rewards commitment, it rewards confidence and pure skills, and this is exactly what Zana has been proving, and this is exactly what she's been doing right now. 91 points, we've got a winner for the day.
So well said, Elise, and I was saying it earlier, just the admiration for these women for stepping up to the big mountain line today. That's what this face demanded, and Zana Fowle delivered it. Full bore. Absolutely aggressive in every sense of the approach to that line. One of the most scary lines on the face, super exposed. And yeah, just no error anywhere. Really, really fast and aggressive skiing.
Absolutely.
What a day.
Well, absolutely. I am amazed by the performance today. I feel like the riders have had such a great time, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, the conditions have really come together, and we haven't had a huge amount of that this year, so I feel like they're all stoked that they managed to push the limits. Let's have a quick look at some of the podium rankings for the day, shall we?
Let's go. And here the ladies with Dana Farrell, Australia at the first place, Maria Castelvi-Bono second place, and Mila de Rue on the third place. That's amazing. The points have just kept going higher. We're hitting the 90s. What a day.
What a day and a fantastic podium. So much talent and excitement for the future coming from this women's category. Our current season standing leader ending up down in 6th place, having started first today on a 75. And all the scores just building up from there. Mia McNabb, Leah Chapuis, Mila Delarue, Maria Castelvi-Bono and Zana Fowle closing out the top of the top 6 there. Unbelievable scenes.
Absolutely. Well, this was just an honor, really, to have everybody here in Monterosa for the 5th Challenger of the series by Orage. And, well, I honestly cannot wait for the next one, because everything can still be decided. The ranking can still move a lot on the next competition in Les Sauces, and we're only going to know really what happens on the Freight World Tour next week.
Yeah, a lot of other years it's been more predictable, but with 6 contests and 4 results being taken from it, it's going to be absolutely incredible to get to the last contest with so much pressure still on these riders, with so much left to be decided. Lives and careers are in the offing next week. So, yeah, we're going to have another quick look around Monterosa. I can't believe how lucky we've got with this this year. We've always been aware the face had great potential, but I think this is the first year we've truly seen it in great condition with really deep landings. Everybody able to take it to the limit of what we knew was going to be possible here.
Absolutely, and indeed, when Monterosa does get snow, as it does right now, it's all white, it's all so pretty, and really, it's only one of my favorite places to come around and ski.
Yeah, I think the whole Aosta Valley's got just so much to offer, but this particular spot seems to have a real character to it. And now I've seen this face, and just looking left and right of it, there's a whole year's worth of walking up and down just here. So yeah, I think you and I should probably come for a ski here next season, shouldn't we?
100%. And now we know all of very nice locals, because yeah, everybody's so welcoming. So looking forward to come back. Looking forward to the next comp. Massive big up to the Freight World Tour tickets of the day, and we can't wait to see the last rides of the season next week in Les Sauces in Dubai. We'll see you on TV this weekend.
Yeah, look forward to it. Thanks so much, Elise. It's really an honour to work with you. It's always an honour to add a voice to any skiing whatsoever. And this free ride contest was one of the best I've watched in years. So thanks so much for having me along. And I look forward to the next one.
A big pleasure. All right, see you all and go skiing.
Finito, finito.